Clobbering time!
Atomic batteries to power. Turbines to speed.
Roger, ready to move out.
Clobberonimo!
Oh, my computer's all slowed up there. Hello.
Love that.
Love
Clobberonimo!
it. Clobberonimo. Welcome, everybody, to Clobbering Time Saturday Night Star Trek.
Whee!
Oop. Caught you off guard there. Oh, my goodness. How are you doing, everybody? Good to see you all. Say hello, everyone, to the most wonderful, not only first officer in the fleet, but accomplished, wonderful author, Commander R.M. Briggs.
Thank you so much. I love you so much. Everyone, I have a very serious flu, but I'm going to be okay. I'm fighting back. But if my voice is a little weird tonight, it's because I have the plague. I will survive. I may mute my microphone and sip tea, but I love you all. I am so looking forward to tonight. And I'm excited to hear what you all think of these episodes.
Indeed, and it's good to see you all here with us tonight. Glad to have, so happy to see all of our good friends who have already popped in, and I'm sure more will pop in as time goes by. I'm trying to get all the as many names as I can written down here.
Time goes by.
What you said, absolutely. So here we are, folks. Clobbering Times 467 on YouTube, 1,167 overall, and Saturday Star Trek number 95. 5.
I will, Phantom Outsider. I will, I promise.
She will, whatever it was you said, because I can't see the chat thingy.
It's so, just all the home remedies.
Indeedishness. I keep getting texted for some damn reason. Why do people keep texting me? Hang on a second. Let's see if it's important.
It's because you're
No.
popular.
No, it wasn't. No, I haven't been patting my bra. I'm not popular. That's a stupid old saying a buddy of mine used to say. When I say getting caught, he says, "Hey, you're getting popular. You've been patting your bra." He always says that to me. Sexist pig.
You're over the shoulder boulder holder.
Yeah, that. Wow. Wow, you are sick. Oh my goodness! Welcome everyone. We will start with our hellos in a second. Let's tell you what. We'll get down to beeswax, so Raquel doesn't have to use her voice too much tonight. But I again want to congratulate her. Her book has taken off, and she is out there. She sold some, and just thank you all who supported us and who spread the word, and everyone. We really appreciate you so much.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I love you all very much. Thank you so much for your support, and I hope you enjoy the new story. And I want you all to know too that look, it's very difficult to publish science fiction these days. People just don't want it. Publishing houses don't want it, and they definitely don't want episodic stuff. They like all that serialized stuff. So I really have no choice here with the Amazon thing. And I wish I did, because I would love to send you guys signed copies. If any one of you would like to receive a handwritten letter from me, I can send it to you digitally, and I can also send it to you via snail mail. So please don't hesitate to reach out to me, because I would love to send an endorsement letter for the book to any one of you, anyone from the 735 Club. It would be my honor and my pleasure. And I love you all very much. Your comments, your support, they mean everything to me. I adore you.
Excellent. Yes, indeed. Everyone, again, just thanks again so much for that. I am so proud of you, number one, and just so happy for you. And I know it's just going to be an extraordinary feeling. So, and onward and upward with the great book. There's hardcover, there's a soft cover version, and of course, you can get a Kindle version. Everyone, I put the link in the description in the chat, but let's do it again just in case.
Oh goodness!
There we go,
boss. Thank you.
Oh, are you kidding me?
JT Kirk says, so Raquel, when are the dates for your book tour with 3 Smiles? JT Kirk, I think I'm basically going to stick as close to home as possible, because, of course, I'm paying for all of this. I don't have a publisher behind me. And I think what I'll do is I'm going to try and book myself into the local Comic-Cons. So if it's within, let's say, 500 or 600 kilometers, I will drive and I will go to the different comic book expos and try and promote it that way. And I might even show up in cosplay.
Whoa! Well, there you go. Hey there, Max Redstone. Thank you, buddy.
Stone.
He sends a super chat. Just, hey, CLOBBERIN team, I'm in sick bay with a bad sciatica. Rick Rats, I get out limerick tonight. My back is the pain as in never attained. But I will be back. Hey, Max, honey, don't sweat it, brother. Just feel better. Thank you for that. You're too kind.
Go lay
Appreciate
down.
that. Very generous. Go lay down.
Mm-hmm.
Go watch. I'll tell you what. Make yourself feel better. Go watch a real original series Trek or something that always does the trick. And go, take it easy, buddy. Or and if you do listen, hey, we'll make limericks for you, buddy. It won't be as good as yours.
Chris Persia says, we appreciate your work, Raquel. I'm only jealous that some of our friends have already gotten their copy yet, and I have to wait until December 3rd. Chris Persia, releasing my book on, I submitted my all 3 of the versions of the book on the 13th. And then I submitted for immediately to see some proofs. And believe it or not, I have not received any proofs. So you guys are purchasing a book that I haven't even proofed due to the way that Amazon works. So I'm sitting here waiting to get my hot little hands on a copy as well. So Chris Persia, I'm there with you waiting for a copy.
Yes, indeed. And just thank you all so much, and we'll keep this thing going. We will definitely keep shouting it out. We'll keep the energy level for it and everything. So,
Oh, you're the best. Thanks, honey.
we'll do everything we can. So before we get started, a couple show notes, then we'll say our hellos. Monday night we got a special. This is of course Thanksgiving week is coming up, so we're gonna have got some specials coming up. It's our big deal. This is my favorite time of the year. Thanksgiving week, and then of course the Christmas week. Those holidays are my favorite. Love almost some turkey. So Thanksgiving week is up, and I am looking so forward to that. But we have a double feature on Monday night. First, the great J-Man joins me.
I love J-Man.
For an early special edition of Clobby's Classic Comics Review, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. We're going to take you into the wild and crazy world of the bonkers Bob Haney, Earth B, as they call it. This is the nuttiest, most. I can't even. I'm gonna stop overhyping it too much because it's crazy. I'm gonna promise you this. You may hear Clobby get a little bit animated. And I don't mean like you have to look at me animated as a cartoon either. As if in case you wondered that. Anyway, we're going to be reviewing. I have
something for the marquee boss. Hold on.
We're going to be reviewing. J-Man, I can't wait, buddy. This comic, of course, view and listen at your own risk because it may drive you insane. This is the wackiest comic I've ever. Well, I don't know. There are other Bob Haney stories out there that I need to go back and reread to make sure it's just wackiest, but wow. Brave and the Bold number 124 from the year 1976 by the insane Bob Haney, the great Batman artist Jill Baparo, in the title, of course, The Brave and the Bold Batman and Sergeant Rock. And he's not even a sergeant anymore. Never mind. Well, that'll be on a special Clobby's Classic Comics Review edition of my Monday Night Marcy Comics Talk. Then a couple hours later at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, I will I'll do just an open comics talk show as usual though. So
J-Man. Thank you for the review of my book. You are so generous to me. And, as a fellow author, and I mean, your wife is an award-winning Canadian poet. I cannot thank you enough for everything you do for everyone in this community, including me. I hope everyone supports your wonderful writing and your wife's amazing writing, and I hope they support you on Twitter, and I hope they support your channel. And I cannot wait for you to dig in with Clobby in this episode. I think it's going to be fantastic. Thank you so much, J-Man. You're the best, but you're the best.
Can't wait, J-Man. And Michael Beacom, I respect that. A lot of people prefer Halloween. Not my bag. I'm not a Halloween guy, but many people are. So I hope you had a big, great Halloween weekend a couple weeks back when you guys had it. And then Wednesday night, November 30th, 59 years to the day of a beloved show called Doctor Who.
This is going to be a big one.
First debuted. Speaking, I figured, hey, it's the anniversary. I am going to rank all 12, and I do mean 12, of the introductory Doctor stories from worst to first.
Gatekeeper.
I'm going to gatekeep worst to first. We're gonna rank them all in basically the first story of every Doctor, and that will be the final word on that. As if anyone ever even wanted. It's the most obscure list I could think of. Whoever even thought of doing that, I don't know.
It's going to be the final word on it. Then I need to nail a gavel to Louisiana.
I might even do a bonus feature where I rate the last episode of each Doctor. Who knows? We'll see. So anyway, that is Wednesday night, 59th anniversary special of Doctor Who. Captain Infinity, that's a rumor, right? What's up, buddy? Captain Infinity and beyond. No time traveling Doctor Who. There's no time traveling Doctor Who. I don't know where you hear such things. Okay. And so that, and of course, we'll have the Clubhouse. Look, Clubhouse will be in session Thursday night, even if it just has to be me. I'm suppose number one will be here. They already had their Thanksgiving. And
yes,
I don't know if Mark will be here or not, but I'm,
Yeah. I'm very excited about it because, of course, Hungry Boy has been up to his old tricks. sending me these gorgeous, gorgeous old sci-fi films, some of them quite obscure. And so he has a little list prepared for me, and I'll be watching them all week, imbibing their gloriousness, and then we'll be talking about it on the Clubhouse. So I'm ready to do that, boss.
All right. Well, we're going to get on the beeswax here after we do our list. I took too much time on the show stuff, so we'll do these very quickly, our shout outs, and then we will get busy. So, of course, needless to say, the great Lord Thoth is here, member of the crew, chief of engineering. Hail to you and the lovely Lady Thoth.
LT!
And it was good hanging. Avon lives. Long live the Legion, buddy. It was great hanging out with you last night on our buddy Nick's. As always, we shout out our fantastic wrench pals, the great Eric K, the bronze wrencher. Hey, buddy.
Mwah, mwah. I'm kissing you, but from far away enough where I can't get you sick.
There you go. And the vindicator wrench of the North, the great Chris Persian. Thank you for all you do, buddy.
You as well. Love you, love you.
The wrench of iron, D. Bud Martin, yo, buddy.
Sweetheart of a man who has been posting the URL to my book. D. Bud Martin, Chris Persia, Eric K, all three of you. You guys are my knights in shining armor. I love, love, love you. Thank you.
Thank you, buddies. Appreciate that. Pleasant Valley Picker is here. Hey there. Shooter, hey. What's up, Shooter?
Pew, pew, pew.
The aforementioned great J-Man, buddy. Thank you for being here, pal. Lemon Pie.
Lemon Pie.
Hey, Phantom Outsider. Fanty.
Fanty.
Mr. Angel. Hey, Chef. I hope you're doing well.
I hope you're feeling better.
A lot of those doctors don't exist anymore. Damn, BBC. Yeah, it's true, Mr. Angel, but we got some that do. Stephen M., the great Kal-El, Super One. What's up, bud?
The real soup.
That's right. Hey, Classic Comics. Good to see you, buddy.
Hello. And thank you for your well wishes. Yes, I'm feeling a little bit better. I'm coughing off mic, but I'm going to make it through tonight. I promise, Classic Comics.
Enigmatic Drop Bear. Good to see you, ED.
Well, tonight, you know what when Enigmatic Drop Bear is in the room, you know what that means. Erudite reviews that just inspire the most wonderful conversations in the chat. Great conversationalist, great friend to this channel. Welcome, Enigmatic Drop Bear.
You guys are my witness. I'm trying to help her voice, and she does not want to listen.
I missed everyone. I'm kind of lonely. I'm spending a lot of time in bed.
I know. We got to tease you. We tease you because we love you. The Catman, a.k.a. Dee Myers, and his lovely wife. Hey there.
And your wife. Say hello to your wife, sweetheart. Thank you for joining us.
Another great pal who has a lovely wife, Michael Beacom. What's up, dude? And hail Cassandra out there.
Cassandra, the Beacoms.
Yes, indeed. Good to see you. Mr. Tickle Trunk popped in. Hey there, Mr. Tickle Trunk's bit of dog's age. What's up, buddy?
He's in lurk mode.
Good. That's honey. Okay. Look, we love. By the way, thank you to all of you wonderful lurkers out there. I always forget. I need to put a post-it note on my computer, or whatever. I have to go get some post-it notes first, and to remind me of that. But thank you to all who lurk. We really, really do appreciate you, and of course, those who watch later on a download or a rewatch. Thank you so much. I cannot tell you how much we value that. Yeah. JT Kirk is here.
JT Kirk.
Appreciate
Thank you
buddy.
For your support. I love you so much, JT Kirk. Thank you.
Tyrell 72.
Hey, Tyrell. Well, you know, Tyrell's here. So it is my time to tell him, thank you so much for listening to us at work. And please be careful at work tonight. And don't work too hard. And we're sending you all of our love. And we'll talk to you at the end of the show. I hope you enjoyed, honey.
Steve Mitchell, Maddie's daddy, buddy. What's up? Good to see you.
In Vegas.
Yes, indeed. Minimusness is here.
Minimus.
Shout out to Max Redstone. Hope you get some rest to feel better, buddy.
Yay.
Captain Infinity and Beyond is here.
Time travel judge.
Double C is here. I don't have any. I can't. No more names that I know of. Anyone else pops in, you will be duly noted and acknowledged, and we appreciate everyone for being here tonight. So, but may as well get underway. Basically, what we do here, we've been since 2021 of January of that year. We have been reviewing we've taken upon the daring mission of reviewing all of real Star Trek. That means 1966 through 2005. That's the only real Trek there is. Everything else with other that label after 2005 is filth and doesn't count. And it's the 735 Club, as coined by my wonderful first officer. So we reviewed the original series, the animated series, the original crew films, and then TNG, and now we're on Deep Space Nine, nearing the end of season 3. Just 2 more weeks of season 3 to go. So we have 4 episodes. We try to do on normal shows when we're not at the beginning or end of a season. We do 4 episodes. Hey, Wolfie, what's up?
Wolfie's here. Oh, 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 oh.
Good to see you, buddy. Glad to see you there. So we have 4 more episodes tonight, and we basically, I will now turn the helm over to my first officer, and she will tell us what we're doing, and then we'll start with the episodes.
Well, usually we have a text. There is a vetted text that we have picked for this show, and every iteration that we have done thus far has always had a text. And it's really important to mention this at the top of the show because there is a lot of factoid out on the internet about Star Trek, and a lot of it is just complete horse hockey. It's not true, and yet it proliferates, and the internet doesn't help. So we go off of a base text, and so for this text, for this iteration, Deep Space Nine, we use Star Trek Deep Space Nine Companion. It's written by Terry J. Erdman, and he gets a bit of help from his wife, Paula M. Block, who we use a lot on this show because she writes terrific books, and they're all original source material. The trouble is that with Terry writing first chair and Paula writing second chair, Terry's descriptions and summaries of the episodes aren't really great for a podcast. He can go on for, I think Mark and I worked out that it's on average between 15 and 17 pages of summary. So while we do look to Star Trek Deep Space Nine Companion by Terry J. Erdman for our facts, we are going to be using our summaries or our plots from Wikipedia because they're short, they're sweet, and they help us get directly to the chat and to the discussion. And tonight we have 4 more episodes for you. That 735 number seems kind of crazy, right? That's how many iterations of Star Trek there are. And just if you're keeping track and you're a part of the 735 Club, TOS is 79 episodes plus 6 films. TIS is 22 episodes. TNG, 178 episodes plus 4 films. And now here we are on DS9 at 176. We have 176 to get through, folks, and there will be 4 more tonight in deep on season 3.
First up tonight, the die is cast.
Mm-hmm. The die is cast is season 3, episode 21. And this is an international broadcast, and so those numbers, they don't work out all over the world and on various streaming services. And
hey,
if you're
Brett
following
Cohen.
Oh, hi, Brett Cohen. Hi, sweetheart.
Thank you for the $10 super sticker. You're too kind.
So if you're following along in the text, the prod code for this episode is 467. And this episode was first broadcast, can you believe it, folks, all the way back in May 1st, 1995. I feel so old. I'm going to be reading once again, extemporaneously from wikipedia.org. Let's see what the fine folks of the internet have to say about the summary of this episode. Garak and Odo have not been heard from on Deep Space Nine in several days, following their departure in a runabout to investigate an attempt on Garak's life. The crew of Deep Space Nine is alarmed when a large Cardassian-Romulan fleet suddenly decloaks and flies through the wormhole to the Gamma Quadrant. The fleet, under the command of Cardassian Inabran Tain and Romulan Colonel Lavok, aims to destroy the homeworld of founders of the Dominion. Tain has offered Garak the opportunity to return from exile, and the two reminisce about their past together in the Obsidian Order. Back on Deep Space Nine, the senior staff view Tain's message laying out the Obsidian Order and the Tal Shiar's plan to cripple the Dominion. Vice Admiral Todman admits that while the Federation doesn't condone the plan, they don't intend to stop it either, and must simply hope they are successful, but plan for the worst. He orders DS9 on full alert and the Defiant and its crew to remain at the station for its protection. Commander Sisko, refusing to abandon his crewmate, launches an unsanctioned mission to take the Defiant into the Gamma Quadrant and rescue Odo. Tain instructs Garrick to interrogate Odo for information about the Founders, using a device that inhibits his ability to shapeshift. Knowing that Tain will never trust him if he refuses, Garrick reluctantly does so. As the device causes Odo obvious pain, Garrick begs him to reveal anything of use, even if it's a lie. Odo confesses his desire to return to his fellow changelings, and Garrick deactivates the device. When the fleet arrives at the Founders' homeworld, they find little resistance and open fire, but soon realize that the planet is abandoned and the mission was a trap. Suddenly, Dominion ships appear and engage the fleet, vastly outnumbering them. In the resulting battle, the Cardassian-Romulan fleet is annihilated. Knowing that the battle is lost, Garrick leaves the bridge of his ship to rescue Odo. They encounter Levok, who reveals himself to be a Founder and assists Odo in escaping. He confesses that the Founders viewed the Tal Shiar and the Obsidian Order as threats and helped push Tain's plan forward in order to destroy them, meaning the only threats left are the Federation and the Klingons. He invites Odo to return to the Founders, but Odo declines. Garrick attempts to save Tain, but Tain refuses to leave, and Garrick refuses to abandon him, so Odo knocks Garrick unconscious and escapes with him on the runabout. Trying to escape the crossfire, they are badly damaged, and fearing the end, Garrick asks Odo for forgiveness. The Defiant then rescues them from the battle. Back on Deep Space Nine, Todman confirms there are no signs of other survivors of the attack, and subtly commends Sisko for deciding not to court-martial him. Garrick sits mournfully in the wreckage of his shop. Odo arrives and invites Garrick to join him for breakfast. And that is all the internet has to say about The Dice Cast, Season 3, Episode 21. What did you think of the episode, boss?
Thanks again, Brett. Appreciate you. Appreciate that so much. I think it's a pretty good episode. This is, of course, for those who, in case those who don't know, I guess you all do. It was a continuation of the previous episode, which was name is escaping me at the moment. Oh well. Anyway.
Oh, it's what is it? Improbable Cause. Yeah, Improbable Cause.
There you go. I like this two-parter. Again, this is the sort of thing. Look, this is, Deep Space Nine is this for the most part. Sometimes we have some cool science fiction stories, but for the most part, this is a drama in a science fiction setting. It's the war stuff. It's the intrigue stuff, things like that. And as those things go, I found this to be an intriguing episode. I really like a lot of the stuff with Garrick and Tain. In this one, and of course with Garrick and Odo, it's pretty disturbing stuff. So on balance, I find it to be a pretty entertaining episode.
Yeah, me too. And I just wanted to say to Brett Cohen, thank you for following me and for supporting my work and for your generous gift to the show tonight. When you walked in the door and gave us your wonderful gift, my head was down and I was reading, and I do apologize for that. Very rude of me. But I just wanted to say thank you, sweetheart, for the marvelous gift. And I'm so happy that you're joining us tonight. And I hope you'll stay in and make some comments.
Boosh McFadden. What's up,
Boosh?
Boosh? Hey there, buddy. But no, we really appreciate you, Brett and Boosh, for coming in. Good to see you. Thank you all for being here with us tonight. So yeah, again, I think this is a pretty interesting episode. Like I say, it's hard to see it any other way as set up. Not a bad way, but this is one of the many layers or foundational episodes for things to come. Let's just put it like that. But nicely done, and again, good drama, good good Star Trek, good Deep Space Nine style drama with some good character stuff in it. So, what are your notes?
Okay, first I have to say, Boosh McFadden, thank you so much, sweetheart. Getting that book out it feels amazing, and thank you so much. I appreciate your support. Okay, here are my notes, folks. And if you're like, what notes? What are they talking about? Clobby and I have been watching Star Trek for 40, 45 years plus. And so I was wondering what I could add to the show, and this, I think, sort of helps the show along. I take notes while I watch the episodes. Yeah, that's right. We watch the episodes every week, and we stay organic. We don't discuss what we think or what we feel about the episodes. And so these are the notes done with a pencil and a piece of paper, old school. Warp 6 is slow. What about that intergalactic warp speed treaty? Rolls eyes. Starfleet is a garbage, unethical, bureaucratic machine then. Really? When? Admiral Todman meeting. I have that in parentheses. So I found that that the new writers here, when we see Ronald D. Moore writing about Starfleet, we're really seeing a Starfleet that is unethical, unwilling to do the right thing. So that's disappointing. I noted that the communications distortion is a Star Trek tradition. Whenever you don't want to do as you're told, you pretend that there's a communications distortion, as is the choose to save your friend and face court martial. Now, this is also something that is a Star Trek tradition. So when you see these user-generated sites like IMDb and the Memory Alpha and all of that, and you're seeing this user or viewer feedback where they're saying, "Oh, that's dumb," and so on and so forth. It's not dumb. It's a part of Star Trek tradition, and maybe you should watch more than just DS9. This is a torture episode. It's really horrific. And I will tell you that in 1995, I was blindsided by this episode. It was a gut punch. I felt betrayed by Star Trek here, and I felt quite sad just to see this happening to Odo, because I absolutely loved the Odo character, still do, but I'm speaking of how I felt in 95. To watch him being tortured was just absolutely horrific for me in 1995.
Look who's here. Mark D.
Hey, Mark D.
Yo, dude. Yeah, well, Romulans are jerks.
They are. And I love the plot twist of the Romu changeling. The Romu changeling plot twist, I think, was a stroke of genius. Ronald D. Moore wrote this. There was no short story and then a teleplay, right? So there's no short story writer here. So this is one of the few times when Ronald D. Moore just does his little script writing thingy and comes up with something good. And we all know, as people who love Star Trek, that's not typically the case. Typically the case is they pick up this short story written by somebody and it's really fab and it has to be turned into a teleplay. So I absolutely love the Romu changeling plot twist. Paul Dooley's acting in his final scene isn't the best. It's cartoonish compared to Andy and Renee. So Paul Dooley, of course, plays Tane here. And I felt that his performance was a little off. But I do realize that that's because he's acting like at a caliber that one would expect from a science fiction television show. However, when you put that next to the performances of people like Andy and Renee, it accentuates it, and that's quite unfortunate. This episode I found was more Star Trek or Star Wars than Star Trek. Also, and I wish Jill, anti-derivative Jill, were here, because she and I like to discuss things like this quite often, although Lord Thoth and Enigmatic Drop Bear like to get in on these conversations as well. Whatever happened to this Founder's weapon? We never hear from this Founder's weapon ever again. And this would be very important, because this would mean that changelings could not shift any type of shape. So I deducted some of my
that
grade.
Prototype weapon thingy.
Yeah, because it's
obvious. They did say it was a prototype, and it was gone after this.
But it works quite well. And so, so I felt like that was a place that maybe that should have been taken care of. Perhaps blow it up or
well, the ship didn't get destroyed or something. know.
Well, yeah, but you know what I'm saying. Like, where did that tech come from? At least give me one line. Write me a little line that says,
Okay. Yeah.
you know what I
Yeah.
mean, that you've killed the guy who invented it, or the technology or whatever. That person's dead or whatever. Because it's a
Right.
can of worms. And for
Yeah.
people who enjoy science fiction,
Good point.
they're looking to the science, right? And so
Spoiler.
somebody like J.T. Kirk is going to say, okay, or somebody like Chris Persia is going to say, okay, what happened to that little string? You forgot to trim that string, right? So
Yeah.
so
You
that's
think
it,
the
boss.
Romulans would have kept it, or had it some? Yeah. No.
Yeah,
Good point. Good point.
yeah.
Very, very good point. But yeah. Again, I thought this again. Look. If you're on board with Deep Space Nine, you gotta just understand that it is sometimes less Trek and more more Babylon 5. That's not just a joke because it's a show that kind of ripped. It is more space intrigue, space politics, space war stuff. In times for me to its detriment, but other times it does it very well. It is really good, space opera drama with great characterization when it's at its best in that mode, and it's also a good adventure and all that kind of stuff. It does it very well. This is one of those that's just this episode has some great performances, of course, by Renee and Andy, as you say. And it is very much, though, foundational stuff for things to come. Entertaining and well done, but it's foundational stuff. It's not like some landmark, fantastic episode or anything like that. But I think it is very well done and very good drama.
Yeah.
And it was, as you say, just really disturbing to see that happening to Odo. But bad things happen to characters. I mean, compared to O'Brien, Odo's had a picnic on the show.
Yeah.
So far. But yeah, I hear you. So what is your rating of the Dias cast?
So I didn't really like that torture stuff. I felt that was very
No, nobody likes it.
uncharacteristic of Star Trek. I thought that was conduct unbecoming of Ronald D. Moore, but the rest of it is really great stuff. I also found, unfortunately, Paul Dooley's performance to be weak compared to Andy's and Renee's. And there is the question of, making this really nice suit and then leaving strings attached. You just go ahead and snip them away. And that founder weapon needed to be snipped away. For Andy and Renee, I think that this could have been an episode of very high caliber, but unfortunately, just the way that it all comes together, I can only give it a B. And I'd like to give it a higher grade than that because of how much I love Andy and Renee. And they are outstanding people who bring this show to a much higher caliber than your typical base budget science fiction show on television. And I love them both and appreciate their performances immensely.
What's interesting is we're both giving it a B. I also have a B, and yet mine is not a. I'd have nothing. I'm not doing it reluctantly as you are. B is where I think this thing lands, and B is not a bad rating. Remember, I like to reserve A's for the super quality stuff. A B episode is can range from a really good or very entertaining or at least solid, fascinating, good episode. So B is not an apology rating. That's a good rating. That's at least for me. That's a high rating. I give it a B. And what I'll say this is the reason why I don't mind the torture scene. Obviously, you don't like seeing anyone being tortured, let alone Odo. It's not disgusting because take, for example, Picard's torture in the by the Cardassian David Warner. I forget the name of the episode at the top of my head.
There are 4 lives.
Therefore, that goes on too long. It's too much. It makes the episode so unpleasant that I just don't like the episode much. I think we talked about it back when it came out. I mean, I get what they're doing, I guess, but I don't really need to see, even if I don't like Picard, I'm joking about Picard or whatever. That makes that episode revolting in a way. It's like, oh, this one, it's the torture episode again, is it? Ugh.
Yeah.
This episode, I wouldn't go, hey, it's the Odo torture episode. It does happen to him. Bad things happen to your favorite characters in fiction, no matter who they are, Spock, Kirk, McCoy, whoever they are. So, McCoy was tortured in the empath, and it's pretty disturbing.
I was going to bring up the empath. It really does. And the fact that the empath was banned in some countries all the way up to, I think, 1991 or maybe 1990. 4. There is some shift in a handful of years there in the early 90s, which is why I'm throwing out those numbers, and they seem arbitrary, but they're actually not. But yeah, it does put an interesting spin on the fact that the empath was banned until the 90s.
Right, and yes, it's Chain of Command. Chain of Command. Thanks, Minimus.
Yes, thank you, Minimus.
But yes, so it doesn't really bug me as much as it did, because that one became just uncomfortable and disturbing. This one is relatively, it's fairly, I want to say at least it's quick. It's not like super dwelling on it. It's just part of the story. We see a little bit of what's happening to him. It's because he's a different type of a being. He's suffering, but I mean, and you can tell Odo, it's not like this horrible sadistic person is doing it to him. In this case, it's Garrick, and he's conflicted about it, so.
I think it also bothered me more, and I really love that you brought up a Chain of Command. So I just want to interject very quickly to say, too, though, for me, well, that's obvious. I shouldn't say for me. Everybody knows it's my opinion. If it's coming out of my mouth, I sound like a nincompoop. Anyway, when I watch Chain of Command, thank you, Minimus, for reminding me of the title, I am so overwhelmed by Poopy Stew's overacting, and I'm so repulsed by it, and him and his grandiose statements about his acting achievements, that I feel so much more for Odo because of Renee's performance. I never feel invested enough in Chain of Command to say to myself, oh, look at what they're doing. Poor Poopy Stew. It's quite sadistic and ridiculous, that episode. But for this one really hits deep in the heart, because of course Renee's acting is just on a completely different level. And it makes you just feel awful. Like you just feel terrible.
At least it's not gratuitous to the point of the Chain of Command either. It's there to make the point of the story. So, and the tortures happen. But anyway, yeah. So, all right, everybody. We both gave it a B. Please now, my good friends in the chat, any rating you may have for the Dias cast and any words you may have for it, go get it on there, and we will read everyone's reviews.
Yeah, so the word's been given. You heard the captain. Fire at will. Please go ahead and put up all of your beautiful reviews and all of your comments, and it will be our pleasure and our honor to read them and to discuss them. Thank you, everyone.
You got them?
Yeah, chat's jumping like crazy tonight, but I'll get them all, boss. I promise.
No problem. If you need me to do it, let me know.
No, honey.
Okay, the Catman, aka D.D. Myers, says, I also thought this was a very good and entertaining episode. Just love the drama aspect of this episode. I give the episode a B+. Thank you, Catman. Appreciate you.
That's a great review.
Our great buddy, the great Lord Thoth, says B-. Hubris is something that has always been prevalent in our stories for years. Enjoyed the story. The acting in this was excellent, minus the Romulan, aka Changeling. I've seen that guy in a bunch of stuff. Odo made the right choice. Yes, sir. Wolfie says, rating A-. I asked you a question. Holy shite, these founders are not effing around. Garrick and Odo scenes are disturbing, but so well done. Yes, indeed, Wolfie. I'm here there with you there, sir. Shooter says 5 years ago I would have forgiven Poopy Stew for his errors. Now there is no forgiveness.
Sorry, I know that's not a review, but I just love Shooter, and I love that comment because you know how I feel about the poop in the stew.
The poop in the stew. We learned that the Obsidian Order Keldon class ships have cloaking devices. I thought the founder Romulan was a well written, acted, and executed portion of the story. Let's see here. A fantastic trap by having an entire planet staged for bombardment. The Defiant is becoming a well-tuned machine, not as singed as they're going to get. Sorry, singed, signed. Okay. In fact, did anyone notice that Admiral? I believe it was Alan Ross. I can't remember the guy's name exactly, but he was an admiral in Star Trek. Yeah, he was an admiral in Star Trek 6. This guy must be a descendant.
Leon Russum.
Leon Russum, not Alan Russ. Leon Russum. Yes, wasn't he the admiral in Trek 6?
I'm
Yeah.
not sure. I think
You, Captain Kirk, will be our first olive branch. He's the one that's sitting there. Or he was
Yes, he
yeah, he was
was
a Starfleet
commander in
commander.
chief in Star
He was
Trek.
Starfleet commander.
Is 6? Yeah, the undiscovered country. He sure was, boss.
Okay, there you go. Enigmatic Drop Bear says A-. This and the previous episode join the ranks of Star Trek episodes whose plots are substantially foreshadowed by their opening scenes. In this case, Shakespeare's Julius Caesar. The work is seminal to these two episodes, from crossing the wormhole into the Gamma Quadrant to the arrogance of Tane, to the opportunism of Garrick, to the space battle of in Lovok's double cross. Hang on. It is quite well crafted and cleverly done. Having said that, there were a few aspects of it that are worthy of some criticism.
Mm-hmm.
Hang on, we'll see. How could the Romulans determine that traveling at warp 6 would reveal their presence? They hadn't been to the Gamma Quadrant, and the Defiant uses a different propulsion system to warbirds. Whoa, that is a true dat. Wow, that's a good pernt, ED. Hang on, I'll get you the next one.
It's details. Once you start looking at these episodes more academically
Yeah.
and you start to break them down, it's quite interesting, and it's very revealing, isn't it? I love these discussions, these erudite discussions where we talk about these episodes like they're books. I appreciate you all so much. Excellent comments.
There's nothing new in this, but the insubordination apparently incumbent in Starfleet is quite unbelievable. And an organization as vast as this simply could not function under such conditions. Actually, I want to address that real quick, because I always think about that when this happens in an episode, because let's face it, it is a Star Trek staple. Kirk perfected it of going against orders and then getting off of the hook because he was turned out to be right.
Yeah.
I have a feeling this is like 100 years after Kirk. I think it's come to a point where a lot of these people grew up respecting and exploring and studying Kirk, and realize this: if I give out an order as an admiral and it's not obeyed, I'm not there. I'm not way out there, millions and millions of miles out into space. I'm giving the order. I expect it to be obeyed. If they don't come back with results that prove me wrong, that's their ass.
Mm-hmm.
But Kirk always came back and was right. And the way now, Cisco came back and this admiral liked the result, so they let him off. And I think that is kind of I think Starfleet kind of, lets him off, but you better be right if you're gonna disobey orders.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, I think that's just a style of command maybe for this guy. I don't know.
I think it sends very powerful messages. For me with TOS, what it taught me when I was young is that authority doesn't automatically mean that someone's in the right. It just means that sometimes those mechanisms, those authoritative mechanisms, and those chains of command, they lose sight of doing the right thing while trying to do the right thing. And so that messaging to me when I was young with TOS made a huge impact. And it's nice to see it appearing in these later iterations of Star Trek. It's a wonderful tradition, and I'm certainly disappointed to see people criticizing it on these new user-generated sites. And boss, I just wanted to let you know that our friend Kai MFS has showed up, and so has Keely Chow. So good evening, Kai, and good evening, Keely Chow. Nice to see you.
Keely Chow, roll tide. Good to see you, Keely. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Good to see you both. Good to see you, Kai. Hope you're doing well, buddy. And to continue with the last part of Enigmatic Drop Bear's review. Sorry about that, ED. Finally, the weapon that prevents a changeling from a changeling. I'm an idiot. Sorry. Let me go back. That prevents a changeling from changing shape is a game changer. Nicely done there, sir. I see what you did there. And would undoubtedly be devastating to the Founders. Well, I can't say much because we know ED hasn't seen some of the later episodes.
Yes.
So we can't say much to that. But yes, we will deal with that as time goes by, sir. Phantom out. Slider says,
boss, before you start that, everyone, please welcome Grimdark. He says, "Hail, folks! Hi, Grimdark. Thank you so much for joining us. We're in the thick of the reviews."
Grimdark, welcome, sir. Welcome. Phantom Outsider says, B, good episode. Always liked Paul Dooley, Wimpy, and the dad. Oh, yeah, he was Wimpy in the Robin Williams, what was it? Popeye movie. Wow, yeah. And the dad from 16 Candles. That's right. That is the dad from 16 Candles. Holy crap.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. Channeling his dark side. Yeah. His dark side showed how much Garrick missed his home federation in a bad light. So genocide, I think it means genocide is bad, but they'll let me get you find your next one here, Bob. I gotta find your next one, Phantom. Hang on. It's wow, way down there. My goodness, but it's here, so there we go. Hey, Narat, I didn't know Narat was here.
When did Narat? Oh, yes. I'm sorry, I'm sick.
That's right.
I should have announced Narat the second that I put the star on Narat's comment. Sorry, Narat.
Right. Hey, Narat.
I have the plague.
We got you. Allow it since someone else is doing the dirty work. The torture scene shows just how desperate Garrick is to return home and gain Tane's favor. Seems like there is more to their relationship. Oh, there's another one. He adds that second number later. Let's see here. It also shows that Garrick values Odo, offering him an out. Just lie. But Odo, being Odo, simply won't. Yes, sir.
Beautiful conversations developing in the chat, everyone. I'm reading all these comments. They're really terrific. I love it.
Stephen M., the great Kal-El, says, A, this episode does an excellent job of not only continuing, but concluding the story that was started with the previous episode, which was Improbable Cause, everyone, although that was filmed out of order. Although more action-packed thrill ride than pure sci-fi, there were quite a few key character moments that I thoroughly enjoyed. Cisco defying Starfleet orders to rescue Odo shows that he is a true leader and not just someone who follows orders.
Yeah, exactly.
Hang on. Although he committed what most would consider a reprehensible act, it was clear that Garrick was placed in a rather difficult position and even regretted his actions afterwards. And the fact, that Odo accepted his apology shows his admirable character traits as well. Although the reveal that Lovok was in fact the founder it wasn't all that surprising. It was a nice enough. Hang on. It was a nice enough. Sorry, just a second here.
Jill just walked through the door. Hi, sweetheart.
Jill, good to see you there.
I was talking about you earlier, and I was just saying that that I was going to miss you tonight.
Good to see you there. Hope you're doing well. Let's see. Twist to make the story nice enough. Twist to make the story even more interesting. Tane's mild self-recrimination as the ship was being destroyed demonstrated his own flaws, such as his pride overriding his instincts. Cut one more. Hang on. There we go. A very enjoyable episode of not only the season, but the series overall.
Well, I like the Stephen M's.
Yes, indeed, sir.
His review. I think it's terrific. And I just want to add, before we continue, I just want to ask the chat a question. And we're not going to put it up on the marquee, but it's just something to discuss amongst yourselves. There was a study done in the 1970s, and it was how people would react to sort of group punishment or individual punishment. And, they would start with these electrical charges where if somebody did the wrong thing, they would get a little zap. And they were surprised at the way that folks would punish one another depending upon the perceived crimes that those people had committed. And so I find it interesting as far as the social sciences go. Now, so here's my question. There's the setup. Here's my question. If you're in Garrick's position, Would you have tortured Odo? I can say, and I've been thinking about it for since 1995, that I would not, that I would have rather have been killed by Tane. So that's my question to you as the boss goes through more of these reviews.
You can say it in the chat. We won't have time to really start and deal with everyone. We're really falling way behind on these.
Oh, yeah.
reviews.
We're not going to
Got
put them
so
up
many
on
to
the
go.
marquee, but I'm just interested what everyone thinks about that. Sorry,
Gotcha.
boss. Go ahead.
No problem. We got a lot of these to go. Pleasant Valley Picker says A-. The opening with the Romulan Cardassian fleet is a nice start. The scene with Garrick and his mentor builds nice backstory. Garrick torturing Odo is very harsh. Yes, it is. When Odo says, "Take me to my people," it is due to his distressed state. Romulans and Cardassians attacking the Founder's homeworld was arrogant. Hang on. All right, hang on, everybody. They should have been more cautious than sending in so many ships. The founder in Romulan form was fun. Sorry, everybody, get distracted trying to go too fast. Odo and Garrick escape was fun since Odo had to clock Garrick with a mega punch. And was that the last one? Oh, I may have got rid of one. I think that was the last one by Pleasant Valley. No, there's another one. There it is right there. Sorry about that. I need to watch my numbers better. The Defiant Wolf 359, nice Wolf 359, nice reference. Odo inviting Garrick for breakfast was a sweet moment, a world building, but solid. Thank you, Pleasant Valley Picker. Let's see here.
The conversations in the chat are so good. They're going to all the places I thought they would. You guys, outstanding.
Eric K says B. Love a good Tane and Garrick episode. Bringing the Defiant under direct orders was with not much chance to get back. I do not think so. Hang on. Oh. Garrick and Odo were great. He knew he had to do it to save them both. Why didn't they install the Founder's non-changeling thing every place? Why didn't they install the Founder's non-changing thing every place? Well, again, good point. We don't know. I mean, without going too far into the future to spoil or anything, good point is all I can say. Michael Beacom says, B-, page 232 of the Deep Space Nine Companion, folks. We wanted to show a regular character in pain and being tortured. Why'd you want to do that? I mean, if it's in a story, it's one thing. We wanted to. I'm sorry. Admits Bear, because he said, never mind. Get that done. Rene Aubergenois said it was great working with Andy Robinson, who is an old friend. Hang on, Michael. I'll get to the next one in a second. It's just a curious thing. Like, if you say you have an interesting story where a character is going to get tortured, but you actually wanted to show a character in pain, I mean, wanted to? I mean, never mind. Just nitpicking, I guess.
It's weird. It's weird.
It is kind of, it's just kind of, I don't know, disturbing a little bit. Maybe. Just a little. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm overreacting. I dropped my pen. Sorry, everybody. Found another one. Here we go. Nope, didn't find another one. I'll find another one eventually. Where are we at? I just wanted Odo to yell, "Wait! How do you faces? How do you do faces? I'm sorry. I just want. Wait, how do you do faces? Oh, at that guy. Yes, that's something that's no. Again, that's too long of a topic to go into here. But thank you, Michael Bacon. Before Lovac beamed out, I liked the character interplay and accepted the stupid space war framework that they used to. Sorry for messing it up there, Michael.
Michael, I brought that up last week, and I totally agree. Like, why can the Founders do faces and Odo can't, and yet they all look like Dr. Morrow?
Where's Michael's number? Oh, there's. I got it. I almost thought Mrs. Number 3 there. Make it happen. Retain. I think they were trying to show that he had lost it in the end. At the end.
Mm-hmm.
Read the torture bear. You guys are all sick puppies. Sorry
Mm-hmm.
messing all that up for you there, Michael. I was trying to read too fast. My apologies for that. Let's see here. Shooter says, A. Wow. Julian's speech about modern playwrights reinterpreting alien works instead of creating their own stories from Earth's background hits home in our era.
Yeah,
Boy,
Shooter. Yeah.
That's a good point there. Shooter.
Beautiful point.
Yeah. Julian describing his lunches with Garrick also makes a point, but this time that not only can you disagree with each other, but you can become close friends while doing so. Imagine that. Yes. And that was just the first 3 minutes. Odo and Garrick's roles are reversed from the last episode. It makes a nice cat and mouse dynamic. Garrick is quite the intimidating figure.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Yes, he is. As viewers, we are supposed to be angry at Eddington, but he was the one following orders and Cisco disobeying them. Starfleet seems to take disobeying orders quite lightly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I hear you. Although I've given you my thoughts on that, but I definitely know where you're coming from, Shooter. One more run about Lost. The final scene wraps the episode nicely. Odo reaching out to Garrick, despite their differences. They are just two souls sharing the desire to go home. Yes, sir. Indeed,
I agree,
sir.
Mira. It's an error in authorship.
Yes, absolutely. Classic Comics says, grade A, an excellent episode. I like how it plays back to the Defiant episode where we learn the Obsidian Order was building their own fleet. Odo and Garrick are two of the best characters. I'm right there on the same page with you on that one, buddy. And the show always benefits when they get the spotlight. Yes, agreed. I recall this being one of the few episodes that really had me questioning how they would survive. Indeedishness, sir.
It's always great when people like really, really enjoy the episodes. I mean, it just so awesome.
B for JT Kirk. He says, epic acting, plot twists, and Romulans and Kardashians working together. Wow. Now for the problems. Prototypes we never see again.
Right.
9 starships.
Right.
That won't stop anything coming out of the wormhole. 20 starships can destroy a freaking mantle of a planet. Mantle of a planet? Bad writing. Thank you, JT Kirk.
You are correct, Lord Thoth.
They're at an Axamander Bear, is he?
He is, yes. Oh, everyone is having a deep philosophical debate about 3 different topics in the chat, and it is marvelous.
You guys, I can't. I'm into you all because I can't see it. Anyway, Neron Axamander Bear says, "Hey, this was a core episode of DS9. Thank you so much, Neron. Always good to see you. Thank you for being here." Anti-derivative Jilly says, "Hey." Great episode. Defying orders to go save Odo is admirable, but would it be even better if he had a submission to also undermine the Romulan and Cardassian plans to prevent war? I don't know. I guess so. Could be, Jill. Mark D with a C for our final review for this episode says A-. Great episode, much stronger than the first part. The torture of Odo was terrifying. Auberginois gives a terrifying performance, and there are some good twists and turns.
Yep.
Yes, sir. Like Lovok turning out to be a founder, despite Odo being stabbed in the back like Caesar, as referenced in the first part. The episode ends on a touching note. Odo says, Garrick, I was thinking that you and I should have breakfast together sometime. Why, Constable? I thought you didn't eat, Odo. I don't. Well, there we goes. Wow. So, are we ready to move on to our next episode?
We are, and thank you everyone for
Thank you, everybody.
engaging with that that really tough philosophical debate. And I really liked. I think it was that Bush brought up what would happen if would you be one of the people who ate the people in the plane crash in Alaska, or would you have been one of those people who starved to death?
I'm starving.
And wasn't it like 50-50? I think it was like 50% did and like 50% didn't. Anyway, that was a glorious discussion. I love you all. That was so much fun. You guys are the best.
Unless you could prove to me they taste like M&Ms, I'm going to go ahead and starve.
Midnight's Oblivion just walked through the door, boss.
Hey there, Midnight's Oblivion. Welcome. They got to find a pin now because I lost one. All right. Let's start on our next episode, folks. And that is
Explorers. Season 3, episode 22, and it is prod code 468.
I'm going to go take medicine, by the way.
Okay, you go ahead, sweetheart. The chat will take care of me.
Gotcha.
Okay, everyone, the boss has gone to go take his medicine. Please watch my 6. Okay, and we all watched this for the very first time on May 8th, 1995. I'm going to be reading extemporaneously from Wikipedia. This is the plot, the summary of Explorers, Season 3, Episode 22. Benjamin Sisko has been studying Bajoran culture and believes that the old legends may hold a grain of truth. Ancient Bajorans have traveled outside of their own solar system using solar wind to power small craft, perhaps even reaching as far as the Cardassian home world. Sisko has obtained diagrams of a lightship and decides to build the vessel and retrace the route of the ancient Bajorans. A brief conversation with the Cardassian officer Dukat reveals political undertones to the adventure. A success would mean accepting accomplishments of the ancient Bajorans, and that the Cardassians have dismissed as fairy tales. Despite initial reluctance, Sisko's son Jake agrees to accompany him on the voyage. The trip proves an opportunity for the Siskos to talk. Jake reveals that he has been accepted to the Pennington Institute, a prestigious school in Wellington, New Zealand, but he plans to defer his admission so as not to leave his father alone on Deep Space Nine. He also recommends that his father start dating again. When the ship flies into a tachyon eddy, Lord Thoth, Chris Persia, tachyon eddy, it is accelerated to warp speeds, but the sails and navigation instruments are damaged. Sisko attempts to call for help, but they are unable to contact Deep Space Nine. Soon, however, they are hailed by none other than Dukat, who announces that they have reached Cardassian space. Furthermore, Dukat mentions that their arrival coincides with the discovery of the remains of a similar solar vessel wrecked centuries ago on Cardassia, thus proving the ancient Bajorans made the same voyage. Sisko remarks on the coincidence, intimating that the disclosure may have been a last-minute attempt on the part of the Cardassians to save face. As the travelers soak this information in and celebrate, the Cardassians set off fireworks to celebrate the achievement of Sisko and his son. A subplot involves Dr. Julian Bashir discovering that an old academic rival from medical school is due to visit Deep Space Nine. Competitive and nervous, Bashir is taken aback by her apparently outright ignoring him at Quark's. After an evening getting drunk with Chief O'Brien, Bashir summons his courage and approaches the rival, who appears that the envied assignment she took, afforded to her by her superior class rank, turned out uninspiring. Wow, that's some writing, folks. Furthermore, she failed to recognize Bashir due to thinking he was in fact an Andorian. Meanwhile, she has been following Bashir's work with great enthusiasm. And that is all the internet has to say about Explorers Season 3, Episode 22. Boss, you're back from taking your meds. Tell me, what'd you think of the episode?
I find this to be a very highly entertaining episode, but I have to suspend a few things that are probably minor. Maybe no one else cares about them to do it, but I don't mind doing that. If a show can be entertaining and and well done, good character stuff. I find this episode to be that. I love, just love all the Jake and Cisco stuff. I've always loved that relationship between the two.
Mhm.
I like the idea. So I guess I just have to excuse that. To buy into them 800 some odd years ago, being capable of any kind of space travel, Bajorans, that is a bit of a reach for me. It's never mentioned how they got. I mean, all the stuff with the constructs of the spaceship is one thing. I guess that means we just kind of ride past the fact how they were getting those ships into space through the atmosphere, blasting it into orbit,
Mhm.
blasting it out of the atmosphere, breaking out of that kind of stuff. Being 800 years, capable of this 800 years or whatever it was. 800 years was it? Something like that. I
Mhm.
believe.
Yep, you are correct.
But that's okay. It's not really explained. Doesn't really need it. It's still, for me, a highly entertaining episode. There's an idea. It's fun. It's a fun fantasy. There's a sort of a Trek sense of wonder to it that I find to be a fun and diverting episode, just for me personally. So again, I have nothing against it. I think it's a lot of fun. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Again, mainly for not just that fun, fanciful type of concept about that ship, which is nice. It's primarily the great writing of the character stuff between Cisco and Jake, which again, I just think I've always loved that relationship between the two
Yeah,
of them.
me too. And we
So
get
it's a very
precious
entertaining
little of
episode.
that these days, don't we?
Right, we do. And it was always one of the nicest things about this show, this relationship between the two characters.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Yeah. So no, I mean, look, I really enjoyed it. But your notes?
Okay, finally, a Star Trek science fiction episode. Now, when this first came out in 1995, I remember immediately, and of course, I didn't have the internet at the time, to the extent that we have it now. So I immediately went and looked at my local library about this idea of these sales, and I think there was some coverage of it in science media, and so I loved this whole idea of these sails and how they could collect energy and how you could use the sun and you could collect solar energy in these sails. So in 1995, I thought this was the greatest thing since sliced bread. And of course, remember in 1995, the internet was like, I don't even think in 1995 we even had ICQ yet. And we have a baddie in the thingy.
They have
Get
been
it.
torched.
This is a wonderful father and son story. We don't see this in modern storytelling, but it is amazing to see such a capable father. He's not somebody with his hand in the front of his pants, sipping a beer, saying, I'm just a guy. This is a talented person who's in charge. He's a loving father. He's plugged in. He has these incredibly intelligent and intimate conversations with his son. He knows about his son's intimate life. It's very genuine, and it's a wonderful way to exemplify fatherhood. So I love it. The Julian story is totally unnecessary to this episode. I wish it wouldn't have been included. I think Shooter said the same thing. Was it Shooter or was it Boosh?
Yeah, but I hear you.
Somebody said it. Yeah. Anyways, it doesn't belong. And Cardassians are complete jerks. The Bajorans were first. So I too wish that there would have been a little bit more a scientific explanation for how they came upon this sail technology. But I was first introduced to this sail technology right around this time, like right around 1995. So in socio-historical context, I'm not going to take anything away from this episode.
No, it's entertainment. It's a TV show, for God's sake.
Yeah, and at the time, this would not be considered science fantasy. This would actually be considered pure science fiction and be using Star Trek for what it's supposed to be used for, which is to imagine our future and to shape our future through scientific advancement and achievement. So I think that this is a standout excellent episode. However, there were
Agreed.
some shortcomings, which I largely blame on Rene Echevarria. I think that's how you say his last name. He regularly writes goofy crap. But the reason why this works is it comes from a base story. So a short story written by Hilary J. Bader. It's a great story. Kudos to her. I love having science fiction in my Star Trek. I don't prefer the science fantasy, and I don't prefer the drama stuff. I hate that stuff. So thank you for introducing this idea to us, expanding people's minds, and getting people thinking about how we can push a little further into space. So just love it, love it, love it. And of course, but the teleplay by Rene Echevarria, it doesn't hit everywhere it needs to.
Yeah, but still thoroughly entertaining, and yeah, a lot of fun. And Trek should do things like this sometimes. And I really enjoyed it. So, what is your rating of Explorers?
So I actually gave this episode an A-, and then I erased it and I gave it a B+, because it has some shortcomings. But I'm going to restore it to an A-. I'm just going to erase it here, and I'm just going to put it back to an A- because as a teacher, I want to always encourage people who write and create and do and think and say and convey. I always want to encourage them to do the right thing. So I'm going to give this episode a more encouraging mark, because I really do love this idea of these solar sails. And I think they're inspiring and they're good science fiction. So I'm restoring it to A- because I want science fiction in my Star Trek. Damn it, bangs on table, and that's it.
I'm going to concur again. We're on the same page. I thought about giving it just a straight A, but I give it the A- because the minus is for having the again harmless but kind of also unnecessary Bashir plot there. But it was. I mean, wasn't. I didn't think it was terrible. It was just didn't really need it. But yeah, so I go for that. Now, everyone, please, if you will give your ratings and the words you may have about Explorers.
Oh, I can't wait to hear what you guys think and what you guys thought. Let's do this.
Yes,
Please post your reviews.
Go for it. Yes, indeedishness. Let's see what we got here.
Oh, good stuff coming up. Good stuff's coming up. Plus,
yes. All right.
Jump.
JC Kirk says B-. Strong father-son dynamics boost my rating. Tachyons pushing a sail ship at warp speed. You need a deflector for your ship, inertial dampeners, etc. This broke all of Trek's space travel rules. Yeah, there you go. But still fun. Thank you, JT. Got you covered. Lord Thoth says B. What? Good dad on an adventure with his son? Love this interaction. Father and son. Love the science in this. Love the journey. Great episode. Sailing on the stars. Yes, it is a lot of fun. Enigmatic drop bear.
Charge of adventure, don't you? It's great.
That's what the best Treks do. So, Enigmatic drop bear says A. This is a genuinely heartwarming and beautiful story. For me has personal resonance. Please forgive my indulgence, but I think it speaks to the power and inspiration of Star Trek. I could not agree more. That's a very good way to put it. You see, we found out on Monday that my father's terminal, oh my goodness, lymphoma has returned, and along with the numerous blood transfusions inherent with that disease, has started a new chemotherapy regime. Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry about that, AD. This episode reminded me of the many times he took me and my brothers boating, fishing, and camping, where we had the privilege of drawing from his vast knowledge of ocean and estuarian. How do you say that? Estuarian.
Yeah. Yep.
Did I say it right? Estuarian?
Yeah.
Ecosystems. Let's see. Hang on. Find the next one.
Enigmatic drop bear, sweetheart. I'm just sending you a warm hug, honey. I'm so sorry.
Sorry, buddy. In recent years, he and I have taught my son how to pilot a boat, and my daughter is presently, studying marine science at university.
Oh,
He is leaving us a wonderful legacy. Oh my goodness.
I just
Um,
unbelievable.
Ben
I'm so
Cisco,
sorry.
Ben Cisco is an excellent father, and this is perfectly reflected in the strength of his relationship with Jake. The love and respect they have for each other is on clear display here. Yes, it is. Clearly, this wasn't an expedition without risk. So why didn't they attach a tracking device to the craft before setting sail? I think they had a communications device. Remember, he did bring up that. I don't know.
He did. Yes, he
But
did.
you're right. Odo used such a device to track the Flaxian assassin's vessel. No, you good point though. They probably should have done that. I guess he figured his communication device was enough. I don't know. He said we could call and they could come. They can be to us in a couple of hours. He told what's his face. Anyway, the Cardassian fireworks display at the end was a bit hokey and somewhat inconsistent with the Cott's remonstrations at the commencement of their journey. Yeah, but I don't think Ducat got a say in it either. He was told to do it. So.
Everyone, although it's going to be torture for me because I have to try and track down all of your reviews, can you all do me a huge favor? Can you all please send your love, your support, your prayers, your hugs, whatever you feel like giving to Enigmatic Drop Bear? Because, Edie is a huge part of our community. He's a part of our crew. We love him very much. And I just want to show him our support. So if you could please, leave his initials up there or send a hug or prayers or anything that you feel like sending to him. I know he would really appreciate it.
Yeah, we love you, buddy, and we appreciate you. We're so sorry to hear about that. Best to you and your wonderful father, sir.
Yeah.
Shooter says A-. The introduction of Lita, that cough was so cute. Oh, God.
It was adorable.
At least you don't have to hear, oh, Rom, yet. Anyway, things to come. The goatee has arrived and is here to stay. This is a nice light episode compared to the previous two-parter. Indeed.
Yeah.
Was that one or two of his? Oops. Hang on a second, Shooter.
The cute little cough is something else, though. I mean, it's just the best, cutest little cough.
Make sure I want to get his. Make sure I got all his. One. Hang on a second, Shooter. 3. Okay, there we go. Got you. I think I found it. So there's 3, but here's 2. All right, here we go. The A story is both a nice sci-fi story and father and son adventure, building the ship from scratch and providing only the bare minimum luxuries for their journey was a delight. Indeed, sir. Let's see. Line number 3. You would think 24th century. Let's see, 24th century would have more advanced welding technology. The B story is pure soap opera filler. The drunk scene is a laugh. But yeah, that's true. I did kind of like the I enjoyed the Bashir O'Brien drunk scene. I'll give you that. Yeah, that was pretty cool. Yeah, I always liked them, so that's always fun. So there you go. Yeah. There are issues with the solar ship, but I chose to suspend disbelief. The biggest one for me is how did these ships get into orbit? Yeah, that's what I was.
Clobby and I as well. Yeah. Clobby and I were like, come on.
But to hell with it. We'll take it. Mm-hmm. Okay, this is out of order. All right, I got you. There we go. All right, Steve Kal-El says A-. This was an excellent episode from start to finish, although the B plot with Bashir reuniting with the valedictorian from his Starfleet Academy days was completely unnecessary. Yeah, I'm with you there, Cal, but at least it was maybe that, but it's also fairly well handled. It was kind of funny that she thought he was an Andorian. I thought that was kind of funny. And the stuff with Miles. So yeah, but I hear you. I understand. And you're right, it did need to be there. Where this episode shines, however, is during the scenes between Jake and his father aboard the recreation of the Bajoran lightship. Jake's enthusiasm and wanting to show his father his writing and accepting the advice given by the elder Cisco was a great scene, as it showed the mutual respect that they clearly have for one another. It was the bonding moments between father and son, and the idea that Cisco, who enjoys all the modern conveniences of the technology of the 21st century, has a deep appreciation and respect for the Bajorans of 800 years ago. He does. Good burn, boy. That makes this episode truly memorable, a great example of great storytelling, not only in DS9, but Star Trek overall. I definitely agree with you on that one, buddy.
Stephen M. and Michael Beacom are talking about the fact that they could have taken that time to talk about how they got it into space and unfurl that Bajoran story more. And Michael Beacom and Stephen M. I agree, and so does Clobby.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Like I said, I didn't find the Julian stuff I didn't think it was. I enjoyed it enough, but I think you're right. I could have done without it. It could have been, the story could have done without it. Could have done that crap in another episode that you needed filler
that's
on.
right.
You didn't really need filler this time.
That's right.
Eric K says, B, I loved the science of this episode and the father and son bond. DS9 is not episodic, though. It seems strange to put this in when they are trying to tell an epic story with trouble ahead.
That's a good point.
Yeah, but they also sign up to do so many episodes, and they feel like they have to fill it up and do them,
Yep.
Classic Comics says, grade B, B minus, actually. This is one of the few episodes where Cisco and Jake's relationship is highlighted, and it isn't it isn't annoying. So you don't like that relationship there, do you? Classic. Well, okay, I love it actually. It's never annoying to me when they've got stuff from Jake and in this Pappy. I like it as a father. Something about that always does something for me. Anyway, beyond that, I always found this one a bit dull. When this primitive pre-warp goes to warp, shouldn't they have been immediately killed? I don't know. Trek has always played very loose with how inertial dampeners work or don't work.
Yeah.
I got you.
That's a science person, right? Science fiction people, they get a little picky sometimes.
Don't know if he is or not. I've never really talked to him about that, so I'd have to ask him. But Classic Comics is a good buddy and a new friend, so I don't know. I would have to ask him one day. The Catman, aka D.D. Myers, says, I thought it was an entertaining episode to give it an A minus. Thought this one had a great journey, just flat. I loved it.
Oh, that's a beautiful review. Thank you, Dee Dee.
Excellent. Pleasant Valley Picker says A plus. A favorite. Cisco and Jake bonding was great. Watching Cisco build the ship was awesome. His love of doing it in an authentic way was heartwarming. The Julian B story was unnecessary. Hang on, Pleasant, and find your other one. I love the Cardassians. Love the Cardassians found a nation ship that made the journey before. I love that Gul Dukat welcomes them at arriving in Cardassian space. The fireworks at the end, so beautiful. Hang on. Got one more. No, oh, there we go. I love a story based on a father. A father-son relationship working together, as well a rare episode without violence and confrontation, just creativity, love and respect. I adore it. Well, I can't blame you one bit. That's absolutely. I hear what you're saying there, President Valley Picker, and thank you for your review. Let's see here. All right, here we go. Michael Beacom says B plus. Wait, did I hear light sail? Science fiction? I started to get all tingly with anticipation. Then I saw the puny light sail and remembered this is a late tale told by a next-gen writer. Despair.
Yeah, the sail should have been a lot bigger.
Let's see here.
Like a lot bigger.
The light sail should have dwarfed the station.
Yes.
Interstellar at light speed.
Yeah.
See you in a couple of centuries. Loved the Jake Sisko scenes. Jettison the B story, not the light sail. Hang
Michael.
on.
It's a great review, Michael.
Indeed. Let's one more though. Page 236. They admit this one was stolen from the voyage of the Kon-Tiki. They also admit they wanted a Jules Verne look to the ship. I loved this up until the Tachyon storm, where they ruined it. Says Michael Beacom. Thank you, buddy.
Yes, it does have some shortcomings, doesn't it?
Yes, indeed. Thank you, Michael Beacom. Phantom Outsider. Says B. This always seemed a bit sketchy. Jake showed no interest in starships or engineering, but if I was Sisko, I'd have checked his work and had Chief O'Brien and Dax give it a once over and have a runabout. Let's see here. At the ready. Now you're just a big nervous Nelly, Phantom Outsider. They got it covered. Jake made me maybe a good kid, but you need to make sure a starship is space worthy. Well, I mean, yeah, I guess he's not Wesley, so yeah, he was, you know. And boys, I just complimented the hell out of Jake, didn't I? Our wonderful communications officer, Anti-Derivative Jill, says A++. I couldn't join today, but I had to write one for one of my favorite episodes.
Oh, good.
And it's not just because of the introduction of the Beard or Cassidy or the father-son bond. The Solar Bajoran ship is gorgeous inside and out. Even if it's fantastic, it feels less like a set and more like something real. Yay. I feel I could fly in. And that makes the episode a tremendous adventure.
It does, doesn't it? Oh, I love you, Joe.
Maybe they don't explain how the ship went to warp, but my favorite aspect is that save the gravity net. Sisko builds it exactly to the original blueprint. Yes. This allows for a disconnection between what we and more intricately Miles understands about warp travel and what ancient societies may have understood that we completely miss. It's like how we cannot understand how ancient Egyptians built pyramids with such perfection that some degrade the achievement by implicating an external influence. Well, we all know it was definitely aliens. Did you watch Battlestar Galactica? Anyway, I'm just kidding. I'd like to know how it happened. I'd like to know how it happened, but I still appreciate the mystery.
Me too.
I like that the Cardassians accept and respect the Bajoran achievement that they initially didn't believe in.
Or pretended that they didn't believe in. Lovely. What a wonderful review.
Yes.
What a wonderful review. Thank you so much, sweetheart. Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah. It's nice to have a nice sciencey adventure on Star Trek. It means so much to true Trekkies.
Indeedishness. Captain Infinity and Beyond is A++ a score? Yes, it is, sir. Now I got to recalibrate all of the values. It's a score indeed there, sir. I think he's just asking. I don't know if he's giving it that or he just wants to, if he's just ragging on Jill for giving something an A++.
I wasn't sure, so I just started.
I think he's having a go at Jill, you little bugger. Aren't you there, Captain
Then
Infinity?
Shin kicks.
We love Captain Infinity here.
We do love Captain Infinity and Beyond.
And Beyond. Wolfie says rating B. Warp drive without a warp bubble? Not sure about that one. Probably push it near the speed of light, but not quite warp speed. Says Wolfie is a starship expert around. He is our resident starship expert.
He is.
Expertly written episode. Lots old world ideas and a good sense of adventure.
Yes.
Chase Masterson's first appearance. Yes, it is. Lita. Yay, Lita. Dead out an axe, Amanda Bear says. Another core episode of DS9. This is around the time many of us began to question the accepted history in popular culture. Thank you, Narat. Appreciate that. Shooter says, a point I missed was the Kardashians. I like when people do that. acknowledging the first contact shows that they are moving toward being a part of an interstellar community as opposed to adversaries. Don't trust those spoonheads. Yes, I know it's a racial slur, but they're fictional. So there.
No, Captain Infinity, it's not the stereo that goes to 11. It's the amplifier. It's the amplifier, man.
And final review for this episode of The Evening, our great chief engineer, Mark Goldie with a C, says A-. Great sci-fi story, but even more important was the relationship growth between Jake and his dad. Jake has come of age, and they have mutual respect for one another, for each other. Sorry.
Mhm.
Despite Jake not following in his father's footsteps, no runabouts followed the ship since they had destroyed so many. Well, one had been destroyed the episode before, but I don't think that was it. I also don't think. Remember, he said he could call when they'd be in there in a couple of hours. I also don't think. The Defiant could be there in like 5 minutes. I don't know. I also don't think you would hear the sounds out in space. But I think they were added to make it seem like a sailing ship. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In space, no one could hear you sail. What are you saying?
That's right.
Too bad the CGI model was wonky. Would have looked better with practical effects. Yes,
Mark D with the C.
Yes, I would have brought much better food for the trip and Clobby. For the trip and Clobby, why no pictures of Lita? Why? Go online.
That was such a good review. That was a very good review. Come on.
I don't have an answer. Why no pictures of Lita? She's barely in the episode. Look, if it makes you happy, we'll get one for the next episode she's in. Maybe. When she's relevant to the show. All right, our next episode up is
Family Business.
Family Beeswax.
It's season 3. It's episode 23, and its production code is 469. And we all watched it. Well, most of us did for the very first time on that summer day, May 15th, 1995.
Did you see this here? Buddy's daddy said, hey, a friend of mine made those visual effects. At the time, they were cutting edge. Well, there you go, because he is an animator and he has friends in the business.
Yes, that's
excellent.
Great. Yes, and can I just say, Thor in Vegas, Maddie's daddy, I agree. Like, back in 95, I thought this episode was the greatest thing since sliced bread. And like I said, that socio-historical context is so important. This whole idea that we would be able to make these collector sales. And so these sales, when you're first imagining them, you're thinking wind, right? But then once, old magazines like Omni and other magazines started talking about how they would be very large and they would be collecting energy, solar energy. It blew my mind. I thought it was the coolest thing. Anyway, let's keep going.
I thought it was the greatest thing since sliced M&Ms, but
yes, right? Okay, I'm going to be reading extemporaneously from Wikipedia the plot, the summary of this episode. Let's do it. Okay, folks?
Yes.
Oh, just wait. I'm just going to put this on the marquee.
It's extemporating time.
The great Ron Thornton.
Right. Of Ron. There you go.
Thanks for that, sweetheart. Okay, let's do it, guys.
Thanks, dude.
Brunt, an agent of the Ferengi Commerce Authority, or the FCA, serves Quark with a notice that his mother, Ishka, is charged with earning profit, an illegal activity for Ferengi women. As the family's eldest male, Quark is held responsible. He and his brother Rom return to their childhood home on Ferenginar, where they are surprised to find Ishka wearing clothes, which is also illegal for Ferengi women. Brunt gives Quark 3 days to get his mother to sign a confession. Later, Ishka confirms that she earned 3 bars of gold-pressed latinum by investing a portion of the monthly stipend she receives from Quark, but she refuses to confess. Ishka tells Rom that this is a matter of pride and proof that she is capable of earning profit as a man. Quark discovers that Ishka has actually been conducting business transactions under dozens of aliases, earning much more than just 3 bars of latinum. Even if Quark sells everything he owns, he will be unable to pay back what his mother has earned. Quark confronts Ishka, who accuses him of being jealous of her financial acumen, just like his deceased father, Keldar. With that, an infuriated Quark decides to turn Ishka into the FCA. Rom tries to stop him, but agrees with Ishka, angering Quark further, and the conversation deteriorates into a brawl. Lots of lobe grabbing, which is a dubious thing given what happens with their lobes. But anyways, we're not going to talk about that. Ishka interrupts the fight and allows Quark to leave to report her transactions. Quark waits outside Brunt's office when Rom rushes in with the news that Ishka will split her profits with Quark. Quark hurries home to accept Ishka's offer, only to learn that Rom, fed up with Quark and Ishka's bickering, made up the story to force a conversation between them. Realizing that Rom is right and that their bickering has gone too far, Quark and Ishka relent. Ishka tells Quark that he gets his business acumen from her, not his father. But since she loves him and he is her son, she will sign a confession and will give the money back. Later, she pays her reparations to Brunt, and a relieved Quark says his goodbyes and leaves. Now alone with Rom, Ishka reveals that she has outsmarted Quark and the Ferengi government yet again by giving up only a third of her profits. In a side plot, because there's always got to be one, Deep Space Nine Commander Benjamin Sisko is set up on a date with freighter captain Cassidy Yates by his son, Jake. And that is all the collective internet has to say about family business. Please tell me, Captain, what did you think of the episode?
First, I'm glad you added that little bit part about the side plot because I'd already forgotten it. I would have been going with anything. If anything else happened in this episode. Look, Ferengi stuff is fun. It's okay. Again, look. First of all, we have to say one thing that was rightly pointed out by someone earlier. The great Jeffrey Combs is in it. That's always cool because he's just.
But
he's just
Andrea
amazing.
Martin's in it.
And Andrea, yes, she is. I like the episode. I think it's fun enough. I just not really the kind of thing I'm go crazy over from Star Trek. It's we know these Ferengi episodes are meant to be humorous and fun. Well, obviously they're also making this is very Star Trek though, in a good way, where it is talking about, and this is the way you do it. If you want to talk about the mistreatment, of, in this case, women, whatever, anyone, do it on an alien world, and you can you could do it in that time frame of the 24th century. Although there's certain things that have always been credibility stretches for me about Ferengi. I don't know how they have that kind of advanced culture with the way they treat women, but let's just go with it because they've always been cartoons until Deep Space Nine started to flesh certain characters out. The Ferengi have always been very cartoony. However, I think this does a pretty good job of talking about that, about a society that horribly treats women.
Mm-hmm.
And it treats them like nothing. It treats them like garbage, like slaves, basically. And I found that I like that aspect of this episode. And I loved Andrea Martin. I thought she was great. And again, they're finally bringing Rom. This is the past couple times we've seen Rom. They're bringing him to being the character that we eventually end up liking.
Mm-hmm.
So on balance, it's an entertaining, fun episode. Is it what I go to, my go-to thing, what I want to see in a Star Trek episode in terms of excitement and all this other kind of, not necessarily. But again, also the stuff with Jake and Sisko and the date stuff. Again, it's another one of these just their episodes. It's entertaining enough, and that's fine. But I don't like to use the word filler, so I just said it anyway, but I won't. But it's enjoyable enough. Yeah. Do you have a and I should leave it at that, probably. Do you have any notes on that?
I do, boss. Jeffrey Combs is Brunt. Jeffrey Combs
Yay,
is wonderful.
Jeffrey.
Andrea Martin is Ishka. And of course, Andrea Martin is a Canadian legend.
She's wonderful.
Yeah, obviously from SCTV. And I grew up in the 1970s. So Andrea Martin and SCTV was like, that's what you watched on TV in Canada. This is fantastic and incredibly daring political commentary. Probably political commentary you couldn't get away with nowadays. It just wouldn't be allowed. And it is done in a way that doesn't alienate the viewer. So I think that Gene Roddenberry would be very proud.
It's done very cleverly. That's what I liked about the most about the episode.
It is because this particular society, Ferenginar, still exists in our world today. And then, of course, trying not to get myself into too much trouble, I just put in my notes, where in the world are women isolated and they have to stay home and cannot leave without a guardian? Where in the world are women still unable to work? Where in the world are women where women aren't allowed to vote? Where in the world do women need these permissions by law? And so I'm just going to leave it at that.
Right.
But I think it's incredibly brave. And this is scathing political commentary done in a way in
Right.
which would not upset Gene Roddenberry. Because remember,
No.
Gene Roddenberry wanted the viewer engaged in the Socratic dialectic. He really, and of course, he didn't articulate that. I'm saying that as a communications and technology scholar, somebody who studies this social science of this. And that the Socratic dialectic is just when you present an idea to somebody in a non-offensive way, and then you present a whole bunch of wonderful information, and then that person engages with the material and makes some decisions about what they believe through that evidence. They test what they think is true. And we're going to put true in quotes. And so for me, I think this is daring. Like I said, unfortunately, in our world today, you could not do this episode. And I think that is very
point.
sad.
You're absolutely right. There was no way they do it like this. Never.
You would not be allowed to do this now. They just, you wouldn't get away with it. And it needs to be said, and it should be shouted from the rooftops, and it should be said every single day. And this is the way that you do it. This is the exact way that you do it. Bravo, bravo, bravo. The girlfriend for Cisco storyline. I wrote that because I don't really enjoy the whole, Cisco has a girlfriend thing. I find it annoying. But I do love Cassidy Yates. She's a captain long before the Filth. Now, the Filth made some assertions about who was a bona fide character and who is an extra and what constitutes being a captain and a person, a woman of color in Star Trek. So we see Cassidy Yates. She's a captain. She outranks Cisco. She's a freighter captain. He's not a captain yet. And this is long before. Oh, I'm going to have a coughing fit. Excuse me. This is long before the Filth. So all of you Filth people, yeah, this is Cassidy Yates. She's a captain. She outranks him. And your Filth is exactly what it is. It's filth, and the lies that you perpetuate are ridiculous because the evidence is abundant.
Indeed.
Yeah. The story about two women and their power and agency in their cultures. So we see two wonderful stories talking about power and agency for women. Once again, incredibly daring, because what it does is it does something that could not be done today. And it takes that culture where women need a guardian to leave the house, where they're not allowed to vote, where they're not allowed to work. It takes that place and it puts it right next to a woman who is a captain and outranks her future boyfriend. Sorry, spoiler alert.
True,
but there's going to be some uglies bumping in the future.
Oh
and so I think that's a powerful and very brave thing. And I wish that we could still tell stories like this, because this story needs to be told. Women need this power all over the world, not just in one pocket of the world. And Cestus 3, it's important.
I love that mention of Cestus 3.
I think it's fabulous because
it.
Cestus 3, of course, is the it is territory that has been in dispute between Gorn and humans. And now we know that Cestus, this tips the hat to Cestus 3 and says Gorns and humans are now cohabitating on Cestus 3. And
think
so
Gorns
this
play
episode,
baseball?
Pardon?
Sorry, go ahead. Think Gorns play baseball? Maybe they have a team on it? No.
I hope
Just
they
kidding.
do. I was wondering, could I please speak with the Gorn who guards a poopy stew in that trunk in your office?
I'm afraid he's gonna be reached for today. Come in, but your ancestors 3, the Gardens play baseball take. Out to the ballpark. Sorry.
It's a brilliant, and I hope Jill is still with us because we love your Gordon impression. It is so good. Michael Beacom and Cassandra Beacom love it as well. What a great!
I feel I failed on that one, but I tried.
Love it. So,
but I did love that reference. It was great. The reference to Cestus 3, and that even the enthusiasm for baseball that if Cisco has, it's really cool.
Yeah.
So those are the notes.
So that's it for my notes. I did find this episode to not have enough action to it. It's very cerebral, but what's happening here? Where is I wanted to see more risk for Ishka, and not just paying back, but this sort of ruination. And perhaps I would have liked to have seen Quark in shackles. So I actually think that this is an outstanding episode that I would love to fly in the face of every filth lover. However, I cannot give it a super high rating because of the fact that I just don't feel that there is enough risk here. I wanted more risk here. Something has to happen to Ishka. Right. Something has to happen to Quark, because we know when we're talking about these places that that Ferenginar is supposed to represent, these very rich nations where women have no human rights. You have to have more risk. So I felt as though I constantly feel as I watch this episode that there ought to be a great more. There has to be more risk. The women who live in these nations literally risk their lives every day to have even basic human rights. And so where's the risk? Where's the risk? Anyway.
Well, that said, I think, like you said earlier, though, it does do it in a very Star Trek manner, and it does a really nice job of it. With, again, some great performances by not only her, but again, we got Brunt, of course. Jeffrey Combs was great and everything.
Yep.
But she's amazing. It's entertaining. It's fun. Like maybe said, it could have been a little bit more, but I like how you said this is the way you do it in Trek.
It is.
In terms of when you want to talk about something that's important. And this is the way it should be done, and I like that about it. So, what is your rating of Family Beeswax?
This is how you get it done without admonishment. You don't have to infantilize your audience. You don't need to become hyper-didactic and start over-moralizing or make a decision or publicly flog anyone. Just use the Socratic dialectic, present the evidence, let people decide for themselves, and therein the truth will be discovered. And for that, I wish it would have pushed a little bit further as far as the risk goes, and I think it could have been done comedically. I would have liked to have seen Quark stripped of everything and something very humorous done to him. I don't know. I'm an author. I could dream something up, that's something awful done to him. That would have made this an A for me. Unfortunately, because the risk isn't there, and we don't see Ishka or Quark really have something ridiculous happen to them to highlight how ridiculous these policies are in Ferenginar, I have to give it a B+. It deserves more, but it only earns B+, boss.
Weird, because I got a B+ also. We keep giving the same damn rating. Eric O'Sullivan, you old son of a gun. Hey
Hi,
there.
Sweetheart.
Back from the Bruins game. I hope the Bruins did well.
That's a fine Irishman right there. You see that? Eric O'Sullivan.
What's up, dude? Good to see you.
Nice to see you, Hud.
Absolutely.
Well, you have a kitchen to run, that's the life of a chef. I ran restaurants, owned a restaurant, and it's hell, isn't it? You got to get up at 4:00 in the morning, do all the shopping, get the food ready for the day. So I am so flattered that you would stop in here after the game to say hello to us. But I realize that you also have a kitchen to run, you have a staff, and you have a food to prepare for people. So we love you, Eric. Thank you, honey.
Indeed. Good to see you there, buddy. All right. So everyone, please start with your rating and any words you may have about the episode. Family Business. Go. Word given. And the fact that they mentioned Sustus 3, take me out to the ballpark. Take me out to the game. So whatever.
Such a good Gorn. It's such a good Gorn. It's crazy how good it is.
Boy, I don't know about all that now, but thank you.
No, you know I wouldn't lie to you. I don't give out false compliments. Your Gorn is spot on.
Oh my goodness. Let's see here. JT Kirk says 8 bars of gold pressed latinum out of 9. All righty. This episode shows how much DS9 evolved the Ferengi from their laser whip TNG beginnings. Oh, yeah. Ferenginar is a wonderful world to let yourself imagine how to make a couple of bucks. There was a lot of funny humor in there, too, like when they have to pay for everything, like to sit down in a chair, they got to pay for it. It's ridiculous.
I love
But
that
funny.
part.
It was clever.
I just love it.
It was so ridiculous. Forget Lita. How do I do that? In the buff Moogie can sharpen my teeth, feed me 2 grubs, and give me umats anytime. JT Kirk, you are sick. You are one sick puppy.
Well, no, Andrea Martin is hot in real life. She's a cutie
She's a
patootie.
Ferengi. Yeah, but not with that makeup on. JT,
I think it's funny
dude.
that that's supposed to be their
I know.
erogenous zone, and they're grabbing
Oh,
one
my.
another by their erogenous
I think
zones, and they're all family.
I think
so
we've
bad.
learned from this. We've learned from this that JT Kirk is a Ferengi. That's all we're only answering. Classic Comics says B+. A fun episode that gives us a lot of insight into Ferengi society. Jeffrey Combs is always a welcome sight. He is a monster. I love that guy. The guy's great and everything. This was the first time I'd seen Andrea Martin since the SEC days, and she's great. She is. I used to love her on SCTV. Just a magnificent actress and very funny. She was always great.
That cute little cough. I just love it.
The introduction of Cassidy is an interesting turn. Another example of DS9 aping B5. Sinclair was involved with a female freighter captain in the early episodes of that series. That is true that, sir.
That is truth.
And that was an element that was, yeah, true that, buddy. Boosh McFadden says, B. This one does a good job of shining a light on certain social issues that are outdated by 4,000 years, but still exist today. Yes, sir. And Rom is Moogie's favorite. It's comical and poignant.
Mm-hmm.
And I love a good Ferengi episode. Quark having to pay just to talk to the clerk is a riot. And he walks away. He walks away, turns around, and has to pay again. Comedy mixed with serious issues. Yeah, that was some funny stuff. Yeah, right there.
It's terrific, isn't it?
Thank you, Boosh.
Can I just follow up by saying that Boosh says, JT Kirk has filled me with emotions that are new and strange and totally uncomfortable, and that he is searching around the room right now for brain bleach. Love you, Boosh.
Can't say I blame you, buddy. Stephen M. as the great Kal-El says, A. This was a great Ferengi-centric episode, which showed numerous insights into the specifics of Ferengi culture. And the episode featuring Quark and Rom's mother is immediately enjoyable. Hang on, get to your second one.
Wait 1 second. Chris Persia says, sorry, gang, I have to bow out now. I need to get some rest because now in order to get up early to scrape the salt and scrape and salt the sidewalk. Have a great rest of your night and weekend.
All right,
and
buddy.
as Clobby says, clobber on. Chris Persia,
Be good, buddy.
I just love you so much. Thank you so much for everything that you do for us. And be careful taking care of the sidewalk tomorrow. The brutal in Canada right now.
Good luck,
with the
bud.
snow.
Yeah.
Bye, honey.
Be good, man. Thank you so much, buddy. As the character is excellently written and portrayed, Ishka's strength of character not only showed in her initial defiance, but by standing up for what she believes in, but also her eventual. Hang on, we'll get you to the next one. There we go. acquiescence by imprinting the confession to protect her sons. Both were excellent examples of a well-rounded character that only wants to do what's right without selfishly hurting those she cares for most. Brunt can best be described as a likable villain, and he is expertly portrayed by the wonderful Jeffrey Combs. The second plot concerning Cisco and Yates was done well enough. We'll see here. And didn't take away from the main plot. So it served its purpose. A very enjoyable Ferengi-based episode indeed. Thank you so much, Kal-El. I agree with it. It was a lot. It was very enjoyable, sir. Fansamal Schroeder says B+. Great to see Quark's mom, but the missed opportunity. Imagine a scene with Odo meeting Quark's mom. Unfortunately, tis is the only time the great Andrea Martin appears as Ishka. True. Hang on, he's got one more. This will be an embarrassment to the Ferengi government. A female earned profit and conducted business with male Ferengi who didn't know. She didn't know. I think he means. Meaning so many would have to be implicated and give other females ideas. The Gorn mention was interesting, but since there is limited interest, I don't think they mentioned the Gorn. They mentioned Cephas 3. I don't think they said anything about Gorn. That was me just yeah. But there's limited interest in baseball. There's no profit in it unless you introduce the Klingon cry, death to the opposition, butts and seats. Butts and seats, milady, butts and seats. Dear and Axeman, the bear says A+. I wish there had been more episodes like this. Well, you'll get a few. You'll get a few more Ferengi episodes. Thank you, Underrat. I'm sure you know that.
Love it.
Shooter says B+. Moogie. Oh boy. Rom Space Knight and his Moogie. Moogie. When Rom says Moogie, does make me want to punch him in his lobes. Nothing like the introduction of reoccurring characters: Ishka, Brunt, and Cassidy Yates. Ferenga. Freng.
I think he means Ferenginar.
Maybe Ferenginar. Reminds me of Victoria over the last few months, constantly raining. Yeah, every time they go to Ferenginar, it's raining. It's Seattle, I guess.
Well, that's what they reveal later. Yeah, that it is that it's a tropical like rainforest where it's like monsoon season all the time.
Gotcha. Okay, political message received. We will just push that to the side and enjoy the episode. A bit of goofy fun that builds on the Ferengi culture and why they are the way they are. The B story is more romantic filler. Maybe this will lead to something down the track. Who knows? Julian and Miles are firm friends now, breaking into Quarks to get the lucky dartboard. Yeah, that was cute. That was cool. The Catman, a.k.a. D.D. Myers, says, I give this episode a solid B. Thought it was a pretty good, entertaining episode. I enjoyed the episode very much, but did expect a lot more than what we were given. I got you on FM, sir.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I think that there was a lot more that could have been done as well. So great review.
Pleasant Valley Picker says B. Not a big fan of Ferengi episodes, but this was a good one. Moogie's relationship with her sons was entertaining. Gains a point for Andrea Martin. I don't have more to add. That is perfectly fine. Thank you so much. Appreciate you there, Pleasant Valley. Michael Beacom says B+. Must admit at first I rolled my eyes at another Ferengi episode. Yeah, I'm kind of like that myself a little bit. But they changed my mind by showing a genuinely alien culture, family structure, directed by René Aubergenois. Kudos to all of the actors, and great to see Penny Johnson. Yes, we love her. Page 241, the baseball team Pike City Pioneers was named after Captain Christopher Pike.
Okay, so can we just hold on to that for a second?
I love that.
Yeah, so just so that you know, that would be original source material. So he is reporting, Michael Beacom is reporting that from an original
Right.
source material
From the source.
vetted text. So you know
Nice
how
to
everyone's
know.
always looking for trivia, folks
like
at
it.
home. That's a real nugget of true trivia.
That's it.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you, Michael
Thank
Beacom.
you, Michael. I love that. Love stuff like that. I
Yeah, me
appreciate it.
too.
Wolfie says A-. Well done episode. Really softened my tube grubs. More Andrea Martin and Jeffrey Combs, please.
Yeah.
I hear you on FM, sir. The great Lord Thoth says B. Fun episode. Like the story, acting, and seeing a deeper look into the Ferengi.
Mm-hmm.
You know, LT's been generous tonight. Enigmatic Drop Bear says B. Excuse me. This was an incredibly bold and carefully crafted story that,
Mm-hmm.
as an allegory, is a very powerful piece of cultural commentary on certain veiled corners of our world. That is brilliantly put in so many ways. Good man, you're something, buddy. That's amazing. The way he put that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Assuming Moogie's home reflects Ferengi architecture, why do the Ferengi homes have such short doorways? Is that why the Ferengi have such lumpy foreheads? I don't know. Maybe you solved that. That's Ferengi evolution. The insight into Ferengi's user pays culture was fascinating. They seem to have taken the concept to its logical extreme.
Mm-hmm.
Great stuff as always, Ed. And for our
Mm-hmm.
final review of this
Beautiful.
the episode this evening, the great Chief Engineer Mark D with the C says A-. Love this episode, and the political commentary is maybe not so subtle, but couched in humor. This is how to do satire well. Yes, very Trek the way they do this. Is it criticizing societies that force women to be completely covered by telling us that Ferengi women are not allowed to wear clothes? Yes. Nice. Actually, very brilliant, really. Ferengi culture is so interesting to learn about despite its backwardness. Love the kicker at the end that Moogie outsmarted Quark by only giving up 1.3 of her profits. Yeah. And doesn't Moogie sound so much better than Miles? I don't know, man. The way Rom says that makes me want to punch him in his damn. Maybe it's just me. JT Kirk, thank you so much for the super chat. You're too kind, buddy. $10 super chat from JT Kirk. Thank you, sir. He says,
Sweetheart
Raquel,
of a man.
said, Raquel, you wanted more commentary from the episode. Fair. Is that, he says, fair. Is that a 2022 Raquel who wants more, or did you also feel that way at the time? Was the episode taking greater risks in the 1990s versus today?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Good question, sir.
Yeah. I definitely think that back then, I think that it was easier for us to talk about things without people becoming violently offended. And I think it's important because we're talking about basic human rights. And I just think that it's become such a volatile subject, any type of difference or yeah, I can't say any more than that because I don't want people to get extremely upset with me. But yeah, I do. JT Kirk, I do feel that. I do feel like that this is a treasure. This episode is a treasure because it managed to talk about things in a way in which you can figure out what you believe and what you think and what you value and how you want the world to change or stay the same. And no one got offended and no one got super upset and no one was hurt and there was no culture war over it and nobody called one another horrible names that end in ist or phobe or anything like that. And it was just a discussion. And I'm not sure that we're capable of doing that these days. I think that with self-publishing the way that it is through social media, I think it just becomes a nightmare of people assuming hate where hate doesn't exist. Yeah. And I think it could be quite unfortunate. And thank you so much for the beautiful question. I hope I've answered it to your satisfaction without getting too political. And thank you for the gift for Clobby. I love you, JT.
Thank you so much, JT. Good night, Maddie's daddy. Appreciate you being here, bro. Our final episode now, folks, is Shakar. And while you're doing that, I got to get some water. So I'll be right back.
You go ahead, boss. Okay, everyone, watch my 6, please. Oh, and JT Kirk, let me star that your comment back to me so that I can do the reading. But thanks, Raquel. I was a kid when I saw this in the 1990s, so I didn't get this in a larger societal context. Thank you for answering the question. Yeah, I just love this. I mean, what you're doing right now, JT Kirk, is the whole reason why I agreed to do this show. Just talking so frankly and so openly and so cerebrally with other Star Trek fans. I absolutely love it, love it, love it. You are amazing, and I'm so happy that we're friends. Okay, everyone, watch my 6. We're going to talk about Shakar. I also call Shakar Ronan, the Green Wet Dream. Don't forget that is who Shakar is. This is season 3, episode 24, prod code 470. And we all watched this for the very first time on May 22nd, 1995. Let's stay copyright compliant, shall we? I'm going to be reading a summary of Shakar extemporaneously. That's a cold read from Wikipedia. And sometimes that can be rough because it's lots of authors contributing. So hopefully it'll turn out. Let's do it. When the first minister of the Bajoran provisional government dies, convening religious leader Kai Wynn is appointed to his position in an interim basis and is likely to be formally elected to the office. Later, Wynn approaches Major Kira with a special request. A group of farmers in Kira's home province refuse to return some soil reclamators that Wynn needs for Bajor's recovery efforts in the Renkarth province. Their leader, Shakar, also led Kira's resistance cell during the occupation. So Wynn wants Kira to convince him to return the equipment. Kira is reluctant to confront her friend and mentor, but agrees to do so for the good of Bajor. Kira visits Shakar, who tells her he only received the reclamators 2 months before and was told that he and his fellow farmers, also former members of his resistance cell, would have their use for a year. But when Wynn took over, they were ordered to return them immediately. Since the Renkarth province is geared toward farming products for export. While Shakar's farmers are trying to feed their people, he sees his project as far more important. Kira encourages him to meet with Wynn, hoping they can compromise. Oh, wow, you guys. So this article's not written well at all. It's all over the place. It's really messed up. I'm going to keep reading, but this is Wikipedia editors. You need to get on this article. It's not good. Go fix it. Okay, here we go. Wynn tells Kira she agrees to the meeting, but sends security officers to arrest Shakar. Infuriated that Wynn lied, Kira helps subdue the officers and escapes with Shakar. Now fugitives, Shakar, Kira, and their comrades hide in the mountains where they once eluded the Cardassians. Weeks later, the militia closes in. Shakar's exhausted group realizes there is no option but to stop running and fight. They lead their pursuers into a canyon to set up an ambush. Hiding in the canyon, Shakar and Kira watch as the Bajoran troops enter their trap. But as they see the faces of their enemies, the realization hits that they will be shooting former comrades in arms. Unwilling to do this, Kira and Shakar drop their weapons, and after a brief conversation with the leader, Colonel Linares, a ceasefire is called. Later, Shakar informs Wynn that he has decided to enter the election for First Minister. Realizing a competitive election against the popular Shakar will expose how Wynn's actions brought Bajor to the brink of civil war, Wynn decides to step down from the race. In a side plot, back on DS9, O'Brien records an incredible winning streak at darts. His streak ends when he leans back for a drink and severely injures his shoulder during a match. And that is all the internet has to say about Shakar, also known as Ronan, the Green Wet Dream Lamp. Clobby, are you back?
Ronan. I am back. Yes.
Yes.
I always call him Zorro because that guy played Zorro on the TV show. Duncan Regehr. He was also in everyone's favorite episode of TNG, Sub Rosa.
Sub Rosa. He is Sub
Well,
Rosa.
Can't hold that against the guy. He's an actor. What are you gonna do? He's gonna do a job, right?
I know.
Yeah, and a good actor. I like the guy. I think I like the actor. But you know how I feel about the whole Bajoran soap opera stuff.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't hate the episode. I don't really like it much either. It's just sort of one of those episodes that I'm not all that invested in that whole Bajoran, political stuff.
Yeah.
As those go, I guess there are interesting bits in it for me, like some of the stuff, when Kara goes back and joins up with them out there. And the thing that interests me the most about it, that I'll say, is they go out there on the run. She goes like almost back to her old life a little bit, and then they resolve it peacefully, where they just meet other, because you're expecting. I don't know about expecting what everyone else was expecting, but you'd think maybe there'd be some big fight, and a lot of people be killed, and someone's going to get killed, and finally, the two sides, one side's hunting the other, and they realize, you know what? We're tired of this crap. We don't want a civil war. And I kind of like some of the stuff with how they ran. When they were being hunted down by the people that Kai Ratchet sent after them.
Mm-hmm.
And these guys, realized we all knew each other. That wasn't that long ago. We were all fighting the Cardassians together. This is ridiculous. We can't let some nut start a civil war. And so they go back, and the resolution, obviously I've seen the episode before. If I hadn't seen it before, as a new viewer to the episode, I would go, I appreciate that. That's not exactly the way I think they were going to go. They would expect it. So I'll give them some points for that. So that said, I mean, it's just still not my cup of tea. It's good, I guess. I don't have a lot of, strong feelings about it one way or the other. It's really not what I'm looking for out of my Star Trek. But we are kind of stuck with that in this show. If you're going to watch this show, you're going to get some of the Bajoran drama.
That's right. That's right. It's just true.
So notes.
Okay. Here are my notes, folks. So Bajor is now a theocracy. That's pretty dangerous territory to go in. I love the line, "The freedom of choice can result in the wrong choice." And that's paraphrasing Odo. The whole famine question is raised again. This is highly problematic writing.
It can.
Oh, why wouldn't the Federation give starving Bajorans food replicators or cleanse or decontaminate the soil? Starfleet, the Federation, they terraform planets. They terraform entire dead planets, including moons. They also have climate control and planetary weather systems that can control climate. I mean, you can even set an entire volcanic planet to sleep.
Yep.
So bringing this up is just dumb. They need to just not do that. It's dumb. There's no need for this. Just write a small reason.
Yes.
You're drawing attention to the logistical issues created without cause.
Very good point.
Why does the Vulcan care about money? We see the Vulcan playing against O'Brien, and he seems pretty like he's grubbing for money. And why is he concerned with the 15-1 odds and profit? I'm not aware of Vulcans gambling or betting, and I'm not aware that they care about money. So I think that's weird.
I can answer that for you. You're talking about the show, thanks to, I guess, Ronald Moore, whoever had a Vulcan gun runner joining the Maquis. So that's why. And later played baseball. But don't get me started on that. But and by the way, I want to say my biggest problem with that is I really love the actor Sherman Howard. It's a shame he had to play a Vulcan in a dumb scene like that. But go ahead.
It is true. It is true. But, Ronald D. Moore continues to do this thing where Vulcans care about money. Vulcans do violent things. Vulcans are in the Maquis. Vulcans care about cash, how much things cost, just weird things. They're eating meat. She has that other Vulcan, the one in the Maquis. She eats mollusks. So, I mean, that could be something all the way up to like squid. Like that's a very large category of fish in the sea. So, and they don't eat anything that's alive. So that's just weird. Anyway, So yeah, I don't like any of that stuff. I don't like it for the same reasons you don't like it. And I also I don't know if the Americans have seen this commercial, but this commercial was like a huge commercial in Canada. It's the
Commercial.
IKEA lamp commercial. So there's like this
Mm-hmm.
lamp, and we happen upon this television commercial, and there's a lamp out on the street in the garbage. And this Swedish voice comes on and he's like, some of you feel sorry for this lamp. That is because you are crazy. Because, he threw out this old lamp that doesn't work anymore. And he has this new lamp. So when I think of Ronan, I think of Ronan as the old lamp. So
Ronan.
at the end of this episode, I usually say something like, some of you feel sorry for this lamp. That is because you are crazy.
Oh my God.
Anyways, so that's just a stupid Canadian joke on my behalf. I'm sorry if it
Right.
wasn't funny to anyone.
I've never heard of it.
And that's it. Those are my notes.
And one other thing about the Vulcan, not to talk about it too much, because it's nothing scene. I can see a Vulcan finding any game interesting for logistic reasons, like, for example, Spot plays chess. I can see a Vulcan actually finding darts interesting and even find gambling interesting as a study, but really giving a crap about the money. I mean, the Vulcan might just be more interested in the odds aspect of it and all that other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But the money, anyway.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. And so, anyway, what can you say? Where are we? You want to give a rating?
Sure.
Of Shakar of the yes.
So this episode is neither divine nor disgusting. It just has a lot of shortcomings. And then, of course, there's the fact that the IKEA lamp commercial, it just plays in my head because this is this guy from Sub Rosa. So it's like, oh, the lamp is at a new home now. Now it's haunting Kira. She should just make sure she doesn't put the lamp anywhere near her nether regions. So I don't feel sorry for this lamp.
Right.
It's a C+.
It's weird. Our ratings are the exact same every single time. I got it at a C+. And again, like I say, you don't have to apologize for a C+. That means you don't hate something. You just don't think it's all that great. That's where I am. I did not. I felt, like I said, as I enumerated, Bubba Doom 1. I've never seen you here before.
Hello. Hail to the fellowship. I'll have to come back and listen tomorrow. Subbed and rang bell. Wow. That's awesome.
It is wonderful to meet you. Thank you for that. I hope you will come back and visit with us again. And thank you for being here. And I hope you listen and enjoy. Thank you. Great to see you. Yeah, I don't have anything against it. But it doesn't get into the B category because it's sort of like I'm not that big on the Bajoran drama stuff or the Bajoran intrigue stuff.
Yeah.
I did kind of like the conclusion where they'd settled everything peaceably, where the Bajorans decided not to go into and not to have a civil war. I like that they went down that road. I can't stand Kai Ratchet. So yeah. But anyway,
and this whole idea that they were in the wilderness for weeks, like the article says, I don't know how that lines up with the lore. I haven't fact checked that. I mean, it's just Wikipedia, but at the same time, if the assertion is they were in the desert or on Bajor in the Badlands basically for weeks, I don't buy that either. Imagine what they would smell like, and where are their rations? Where's their water? Where are their provisions? So there are definitely some holes. And some of you feel sorry for this lamp. That is because you are crazy. The old lamp had sex with Beverly Crusher and thoroughly enjoyed it.
I'm sure some Canadian friends here might know that one, might catch the reference. You never know. I don't know that one, but I do like Duncan Regehr as an actor, though. And I agree with you, Bubba Doom. If Eric Kay is the man. Eric Kay is great. So
He is. We love the Bronze Wrencher.
We love the Bronze Wrencher here. So everyone, go ahead with your ratings and any words you may have about the episode Shakar. Launch those reviews, folks.
Yep. go ahead and put your review up. You can go ahead and give it, a college rating, A, B, C, F, whatever you feel. You can go ahead and give it a 1, a 5, a 6, a 10 out of 10. Or you don't have to give it any rating at all. Just, comment on it and just make sure that you mark it with review so I know. And then what'll happen is I'll star it. It'll go into a folder for the boss, and the boss will put it up on the marquee and also read it, and then we'll all discuss it.
All righty. Let us see. Let's get going here. All right. Pleasant Valley Picker said, "See, ho-hum, religious ratchet conniving again. Turn out the lamp." A bunch of numbers. Enough said. There you go. Turn out the
You'd have to turn out the lamp
mover.
because I definitely don't want to blow out the lamp. You know what I'm saying? Sorry. I'm sorry. Can't help it.
What? Hey, what's wrong with you? All right, let's see. JC Kirk C. C-, boring Bajoran drama. Ratchet and Chief Wynn acted similarly to Joseph Stalin to stole all of you. I don't know if you can say that word on YouTube these days. Well, I'm just kidding. Ukraine's wheat in the 1920s for export and a quick payday. Tens of millions of Ukrainians. I'm just being cautious here, folks. You know what's going on in the world today. Expired. Bajorans have weaponry. Let's see. Bajorans have weaponry so they could fight back. An oddly pro-Second Amendment message out of writers who are unlikely to take that political stance. That's something that always was always mind-boggling to me about some of these. Sometimes when they would do that on some Hollywood production, there, JT, where I'm going, I know these people writing this, I know don't agree with this, but they just don't really understand what they're doing. I don't know, but that used to kind of intrigue me when such things would happen back then. Bruce McFadden says, "C. Chairman Kai is pulling some great leap forward. BS here. Excuse me. Chairman Kai is pulling some great leap forward. BS here. Every time we see her, she seems to be more and more evil. Why Kira would even entertain this idea is ridiculous." Indeed,
JT Kirk, you have nothing to apologize for, sweetheart.
No, don't apologize at all.
Absolutely love you, and the algorithm does ridiculous things. It shouldn't even be like that. You know what I'm saying? Adults should be able to have adult conversations. Please continue doing what you do.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
We'll continue doing what we do, and we love your comments. Don't change your comments.
Fine, dude.
We love you just the way you are, honey.
As you know, some of these we have certain types of code words for certain words because of what the algorithm does to people who are not of favored status by certain people who run these things, these channels, these sites. If you know what I'm saying, JT, and I think I know what I do. I think I know you. So we just watch certain words, and that was one. I'm not even saying that's one of the watch words. It just seemed to me like it might be.
We have to be cautious because they'll just vaporize you for any reason nowadays. Oh, Rod Thunderheart's here. Hi, Rod.
Thunderheart. What is
up, sweetheart?
Good to see you, sir. All right. Let's see here. Where were I? Kai keeps moving further and further into an authoritarian dictatorship using religion and fear to control the population. It isn't about food. It's about control. Yes, sir. Absolutely, Boosh. Absolutely, Boosh. Shooter says, "Okay, we have had some good episodes. Time for some politically driven drama stuff. It just isn't that exciting. I suppose DS9 started with helping Bajor prepare to join the Federation. Yeah, see, that's your show's premise. So as much as I don't care for it, I understand that it's part and parcel of the package. If you're a Deep Space Nine viewer, it does. I just would have preferred they I wouldn't." Wish they didn't deal with that kind of stuff, to be honest, but the showrunners didn't agree. They liked that stuff. So, I'll be honest, I didn't pay much attention on this viewing. I can't blame you. Just wasn't into it. So we have a Vulcan gambling on a dart game. He seemed smug when he won. Doesn't sit well. Yeah, it was poor old Sherman Howard. That was really dopey stuff. I'm totally with you there, buddy.
I'm with you, Shooter. You're right on that one, honey.
Bubba Doom said it was a good episode. Thank you, Bubba Doom. Appreciate that. Bubba Doom liked that one. I didn't hate it either. I didn't hate it or anything. I just I don't like that Bajoran stuff, but I actually do like Shakar. Well, maybe I'll like him a little bit later too. I like Duncan Regehr. I don't hold Sub Rosa against him like everyone else does.
He likes the lamp.
Bush also says, I'm just sick of Kai Ratchet at this point. I can't stand Kai Ratchet, dude. Oh, my goodness.
And everyone in the chat is like, yeah, Bush, yeah, Bush, yeah, Bush.
No kidding,
like,
buddy.
Everyone,
I can't stand her.
It's almost as though they overplayed the Kai Wynn card, because it's like they did more than prove she was a villain. She actually repulsed people to the point where they found it difficult to watch her. So
yeah. And like I say, it's just... And when I say that I don't really like the Bajoran stuff, I don't, but it doesn't mean I don't think the episode isn't halfway decent or compelling drama. It is sometimes when they do that. It's okay drama stuff. Just isn't just not my preference. That's all.
That's right. That's right.
You know. Stephen M says, of course, the great Kal-El says, this episode tells an excellent story and warns of the dangers of how close a society can come to a civil war over seemingly insignificant issue, such as the use of farm equipment. You know something? That is a very Trek thing to do, Stephen. So yes, that is very. Right. I'm glad you put that out there.
Yep,
we got the best audience here. We got the best.
We do.
There's no better forum with our gigantic, our group we have now. I know we're not the biggest channel and everything, but in terms of depth of knowledge and just critical reviewability in terms of Star Trek. I know it's not a word, sorry. We got the best here.
The discussions are just cherry. They're cherry.
Strike that dumb word I just made up for no reason. Kai Karen Wynn begins to show her true character traits, but does a good job of reining herself in at the end, albeit reluctantly. The best scenes in this episode are between Kira and Shakar, Zorro, with the former doing her best to resolve the situation amicably, and the latter ultimately fighting for what was promised to him and others. Although there was a heightened threat of imminent civil war towards the end when Linares shoots Furel or whatever. The resolution to this episode's dilemma was a logical and satisfying conclusion. This was an excellent episode overall. Thank you, Cal.
This is a great review. This is a review I respect.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Eric K says, C-, like sands through the hourglass, these are the days of Bajoran lives.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not Eric's cup of tea. It's not my cup of tea either.
Not everyone's either, but again, again, this doesn't mean I don't think that's bad. It's just not, So Michael Beacom says, C-, politics, yawn. A and B stories. A and B stories is what I'm sorry, that's how I put it. Just admit you cannot write one full episode. Page 244. They say that the story was originally about reopening a Bajoran museum with resources needed elsewhere.
Makes more sense.
Making it an uproar versus an upper versus lower class story, but they abandoned it. Probably would have been more sense. Mm-hmm. Once they added Kai Ratchet, they thought they had the story knocked.
Yep,
I disagree.
Yeah,
but having had friends from Iran when the government changed to a theocracy made it poignant to me. Mm-hmm. Nice try, but if this episode went away, never to return, would any of us miss it? Well, I think Stephen would. I think Kal-El would, but
Yep. Excellent review, Michael Beacom.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Wolfie 762 says rating B. I like that they stuck it to win at the end with an opposing candidate for the election. Yeah, I like that bit too. Yeah, that was pretty good. Bubba Doom also said She was a good villain, though. I find her to be up there with Mark Alamo. Look, the actress who sadly just passed recently,
She's
Bubba,
a sweetheart.
Louise Fletcher was a brilliant actress and a wonderful actress, and she did a fine job. It's just the character. Look, and it's one of those weird things that, if you're being honest, you go, yes, I don't like her, but you're not supposed to like her. She is there. She's actually doing a fine job in the role as well. I mean, I cannot stand Kai Ratchet, Vedic Ratchet, now Kai Ratchet, but I'm not supposed to. So, but I just make fun of her that way.
Boss man, I know you're on a different tab than me, and I hate to interrupt you. Please, I'm so sorry. I beg your pardon. But the Dadman clan just walked through the door. We've got Dad here. Dadman walking 55. Good evening, everyone. Say hello to the Dadman clan.
What is up, my friends? Dadman, the Dadman clan, my friends. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well tonight, buddies. And hope the whole family's doing well. Enigmatic Drop Bear says, C. This was a bit of a mess of an episode. Mainly, it feels like a lost opportunity for Kira's character development for two principal reasons. Let's see here. One, it seems to indicate she has a certain predilection for reverting to rebel fighter over moving forward as a diplomat capable of crafting a peace.
Yep.
Two, there's an implication that she is rebelling from the loss of Belial, swept off her feet by another paternal male figure.
Interesting.
The emotional disconnect between Kira's grieving of Belial and events in the intervening episodes is also jarring. Perhaps this episode should have aired about 10 episodes prior. Interesting. Perhaps indeed. Bubba Doom also says, her character and performance reminds me of Frank Burns and MASH. You had to hate her because she sold it. Larry Linville was brilliant, and I loved him. Those first 2 seasons of MASH. MASH was never the same when Frank left.
Frank was
never the same.
Frank was excellent.
Yes, I loved him. He was there for about 5 seasons or so, but this first, or something like that. Yeah, I think it was, and he was terrific. Michael Beacom also says, Stephen, you see Kai's true colors shining through. You see her true colors. That's why we hate you. Okay. Yeah, Cyndi Lauper.
Yep, Cyndi Lauper. Cyndi Lauper.
Well done, Michael Beacom. Markle D with a seal says C+. Not a well done episode, but had some good moments, especially between the freedom fighters and government forces. Biggest flaw: can't an advanced society make more reclamators or ask for them from the Federation? Miles could do it. Yeah, that's the thing.
That's my problem too. I don't like that either.
Too. Same here. This episode gives us this gem of a line from Odo. It has been my observation that one of the prices of giving people freedom of choice is that sometimes they make the wrong choice.
I had that in my notes as well. Mark D with the C. There's a reason why we're friends.
It's an interesting line, but it also disturbs me in some sense. Like, that's kind of irrelevant. They still should be able to make the choice. And, when you say, and again, it's the arrogance of saying we give people freedom of choice. You should not be able to give choice. You should be able to not impede people's choices. That's right. That's just me. But yeah, there we go. So, wow, we've reviewed the hell out of 4 of them again.
We did it in 2.5 hours. We did a great job.
Indeed. And the great Mark D with a C is here. What's up, Duder?
Hello.
Good evening, fine sir.
Good evening.
Hey, man.
Yeah, a great night tonight. Yeah,
welcome,
and Raquel, I hope you're feeling better.
Oh, thank you. I got that nasty thing you had before.
Oh, no. That's not a gooder.
It's not.
Not a gooder.
You'll feel better.
Does it ever go away? Like, why does it stay so long?
I don't know. It lingers. It's just like if you overfeed tribbles, I guess. They just stay around.
Man.
I still got some effects. Well, not bad, but like I still have a sore throat once in a while. But hey, there's a lot worse, unfortunately, out the knock on wood. So
that's right. That's right.
Yeah. So just
you received a
drink
gift
a lot of vitamin C.
Hey, Brett Kelly, thank you.
Sorry about that. Sorry to interrupt you while you're talking, Mark.
I've got Brett Cohen. Thank you so much, Brett Cohen. I can't see it from this side, but I do know that's a sticker.
It's a clap. It says bravo, and it's a clapping little dog or a fox.
See, your voice still isn't normal yet either, so you still also have it.
Yeah.
Doesn't go away.
Sir.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, who has the wisdom to collectively decide what the wrong choice is? That's what I found arrogant about the statement.
Mm-hmm. I gotcha.
Odo is something of an authoritarian. I love him though, but yeah.
But the thing I liked about that line was you can take it either way, no matter what side you're on, right?
It is an arrogant line, but I liked it. It was interesting.
Yeah. But Mark, I agree with you. I found that line to be very cerebral because I think its purpose is to demonstrate that it could be said by either side.
Yeah.
And therein, in so doing, disarming both sides at the realization that it could be said by either side. So I agree.
Who are they complaining about, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you could take it at the time, whoever was president or in power or whatever.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
But then you could have. That's why you got to watch out when you write things that are too topical.
That's
to
right.
the day. Then 20 years later, it could be someone else.
Yeah.
Well, folks, next week we'll have 2 episodes because it's the end of season 3. We're ending season 3. How about that? But we'll have, of course, our crew rap. We'll have our crew rap party if we can get our other crew members to be on. We'll see.
You giving us popcorn?
Yes, I am.
Great.
And we will have our top 5 episodes and bottom 5 episodes.
Is that what we're doing this time?
Season overview. That's what we always do at the end of a season.
Well, we do the good, the bad, and the ugly, but you want to do top 5?
Yeah, we usually do that. Yeah.
That's exactly what we do.
I warm up the spreadsheet. Yeah.
What would be different
and
about
warm
that?
up the spreadsheet? Good.
Yeah. What would be different? That's all. So we always do.
Is that what we always do? Yeah.
Well, we always pick our best and worst, don't we?
It's true, but I always chicken out and do 3.
Oh, you can do 3. I don't know why I said 5. It doesn't matter. You can do 2, 3, 5.
No, it's just it's a weakness in me.
Yeah, but this season deserves 5, I think.
Can I have 10 bad episodes?
That's exactly right.
It's season 3, so you can just do 3 if you want. The next season we can do 4. The next
I will
one
try
do 5.
for 5. That's some serious homework, Captain.
Keep it a minimum of 3. I didn't know it was any homework. You guys are crazy. You know when I picked mine, when I'm sitting here 2 seconds before you guys were talking about which one you spent a whole damn week trying to decide. I go, oh, which one? I forgot which one I hate the most now because I don't remember. I don't do shit. I just go. I look back at the episode guide and while you guys are talking about which ones y'all hate, and I go
calculating.
Oh that one sucked. I might pick that one as my worst.
I'm calculating each episode's point total. Yeah.
Oh my God. I don't do any work on that.
D-Bud Martin says these seasons seem to be going by so fast. And I have to put that up because D-Bud rarely speaks up. And when he does, I like to amplify his voice. Also, we have Enigmatic Drop Bear asking about the great Hungry Boy. Where is he? What's going on?
I don't know. I've been wondering.
I am ill. Everyone knows I'm ill. Well, at the beginning of the broadcast, he sent me a message. I haven't read it yet, and of course, I don't want to read it while I'm on air, because I don't know if it's private or not. But you know what?
If you want to check it, you can.
Yeah, I can check it, but don't suspect the worst. It could just be that he's up painting or he's sleeping. Yeah. But let me check while you guys chat about some stuff that Stephen and Michael Beacom are talking about. I will be right back.
Well, he's across the world too, right? So I mean, it's a different time for him.
It's daytime for him. He popped into Nick's show last night, so let me read some of these real quick. Michael Beacom said, we may be doing family stuff next Saturday, so I may need to write it out in advance. Okay, well, that's cool, Michael. Just, you know what? Don't feel stressed to do it, but we'll take anything you want to send to me. Just send it to me if you want. Stephen M. said, by the way, having completed another trip around the sun today. Oh, what? It's your birthday, dude. Damn it.
Wow.
Well, yesterday on the East Coast, I decided to treat myself to Raquel's 3 remaining short stories. Oh, my goodness. She'll love to hear that. We'll tell her when she gets back. Although I can't do so at the moment, I do plan on getting her new book in hardcover format eventually. Once again, Raquel reviews are forthcoming. Wow. I should have kept that to show her, to read her to her.
Yeah. Tag
it. Hungry Boy is okay, everyone. Sorry, am I interrupting? Hungry Boy is okay, everyone. I should have. I'm so sick that my brain isn't working. I just reread his message. everything's okay. He is otherwise engaged.
No problem.
And he also told me that it's very hot today.
Oh, there you go. This is for you. Kal-El said, by the way, having completed another trip around the sun today. Happy birthday yesterday, buddy.
Oh, happy birthday, honey.
It says now yesterday on the East Coast, but it's still today for you and myself, Kal-El, apparently. So happy birthday today, buddy. But Mark would have to say it for tomorrow.
Yeah.
And Mark would have to say yesterday because he's in tomorrow. Right now, he's in tomorrow right now.
I'm in tomorrow.
Yeah. Time travel. Sorry, Captain Affinity. He said, I decided to treat myself to Raquel's 3 remaining short stories.
Thanks,
and then
sweetheart.
He said, although I can't do so at the moment, I do plan on getting her new book in hardcover format eventually. Once again, Raquel, reviews are forthcoming.
Oh, I love you. Thank you, Stephen. It means so much to me. Thank you so much for your support. And thank you so much for doing that. I mean, you know, I write this stuff for you guys. Everyone is looking for that episodic science fiction. And I just love you and respect you all so much. And thank you for supporting my writing. It means the world to me. I love you guys. Thank you.
Well, happy birthday, buddy. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Happy birthday to you.
Keep going. Oh, you don't have to. Thank you.
And many more.
Eric K, appreciate you, buddy.
I was just going to say, don't slingshot around the sun. You don't want to time travel. That'll make Captain Affinity very angry.
Yes, indeed. Raquel, we all love you. Go to bed and get better, he said.
Yeah, I do need to go to bed.
Well, whenever you want to run, you want to wait till we wrap it up, or you want to run now and let us wrap it up? It's up to you.
Why don't I let you guys wrap it up because my throat is actually hurting, and
get out of here. Then. Yeah.
I really, really have to go and have a nice big fat coughing fit. I need to have some balls.
God.
Gotcha.
I love you all.
I hope.
Yeah, I do.
That's cool.
You are so sweet. Thank you, Mark. Everyone, I love you all. Thank you for the wonderful conversation tonight. I had a marvelous time. What a deep philosophical thing we got into tonight about so many subjects. And you all are just so brilliant and wonderful to be around. And there's such a diversity in opinion and thought here. I love you guys. And so I'll take my leave. Good night. Good night, everyone.
I love you, number one. Feel
love
better.
You, Captain. Thank you. Good night, everyone.
All righty. Enigmatic Drop Bear. You're too kind to do that, sir. That's very nice of you, man. You didn't have to do that. Enigmatic Drop Bear writes for $14.99. Thank you so much. You're way too kind, buddy. He says, thank you so very much, everyone, for your support and kind words. I love you all and am truly thankful for this wonderful community. And please, Raquel, take care and make a speedy recovery. And full recovery. Sorry about that. ED, we'll pass that along to her. As you know, she's gone now. She ran out to go get some sleep and get some rest. But thank you, my friend. You're too kind. I can't even put it into words how much I appreciate you, and just what all of you do around here. What all you do here is just appreciated by me so much. It's difficult to put into words, which is good. Some lousy words, as you can see. Michael Beacom for $5 says, happy Thanksgiving and good night to all. Be seeing you, buddy. Take care, my friend. I'll do a couple show notes, then we'll do the goodbyes, and we'll get moving. How about that?
Sounds good. Yep.
Tomorrow night, first of all, Mark D, tell everybody what you got going on. I know we got the.
We got the Sunday Night Geek Read tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Eastern. Just talk about the geek things during the week, and it always somehow digresses to food. I guess we'll probably talk about Thanksgiving Day food in America a little bit. You won't mind that, right? Yeah. And just check out. Got some more shorts coming out. And I'm trying to do a short a day, so that's been working out pretty good. So I had a Daredevil clock out today, so go check that out. Seemed like a popular video. So, but I don't know what Daredevil, Daredevil clock. It's but it's an action figure on the clock. It's cool. Yep. So
yes, JT Kirk. I'm about to announce those in a second here. So yes, and hopefully I'll be hanging out with Mark D over there. Hey, Polyme's Minions here.
Hey,
good to see you, Polyme, in the pepperoni there.
I can't sing pepperoni like Raquel, so I'm not going to try.
No, but we could at least show the pepperoni. Why not?
Yeah, show the pepperoni.
There's the pupper. But no, Raquel's already gone for the night there at Palmy, so can't sing it for her. But you know, we'll let that's her job to do the singing. So anyway,
Yep. But
so
check
let's see here.
out her channel too. Yep, and you can see Simi's travels. Yep.
Yes. So here's the yes. Please go to Apollome's channel. Okay, let's see here. So, all right, show notes, and we'll get out of here after we handle this. We'll say our goodbyes after we do the show notes. Again, please, everyone, if you haven't already, and let's see, let me put the link in the chat. Please go check out Raquel's book, hardcover or the soft cover on Amazon. Here is the link to it. Let me put it in there. And I again, thank everyone who's been supporting the book. Hey, Michelle O'Rourke Johansson is here.
Hi, Michelle.
Hey, Michelle. Good to see you, dear. I'm not always looking at the screen, so I missed some things, everybody. Okay, now, so again, thank you everyone for that. Now for the show notes. Where am I? Okay. Monday night, it is going to be a Clobbering Times double feature. An early show at 6 p.m. Central with the great J-Man. I'm going to just blast your minds to pieces with the wacky world of Bob Haney. We're going to review the craziest comic, one of the craziest comics you're ever written. It's just, I can't even put into words. I probably hyped it up too much. People are going to go, well, but trust me, you may hear some Clobby being pretty animated that night. I'm going to need some blood pressure medicine after this one. Classic Comics, it is a special edition of the Clobby's Classic Comics review with my great buddy J-Man. We will be reviewing Brave and the Bold number 124. Classic from 1976 by the great Bob Haney and the great Batman artist, Brave and Bold artist, Jim Aparo. That is on Monday night, Mark C. Comics Special. Then a couple hours later at 9 p.m. Central, I'll be back with the regular open show. A regular open show for that. And then Wednesday night, Tuesday night, I'll probably hanging out over at Tom's Midnight's Edge After Dark, of course, with those great friends. And maybe even and Wednesday night, I think Wednesday we'll have a Loki's Comics Roundtable. But after that, on Clobbering Times, it is the 59th anniversary to the day, November 23rd, of Doctor Who, the great show. I will be counting down, ranking, that is, all 12 from worst to first of the Doctor intro episodes. What's an intro episode? The episodes that introduce us to a new Doctor. I'm going to rank them all in a rank fashion. I'm going to be rank about it.
Looking forward to that. Yep.
Gonna be fun. Well, for me anyway. I don't know who even cares about.
It'll be fun for everyone. Are you kidding?
I don't know. I never know. I just try.
That's gonna be awesome.
Never know, right? So looking forward to that.
Great idea for a show.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that. And of course, I'll be here. I don't know who else is going to be here, but I will be here Thursday night. I know it's Thanksgiving night, but I'll have nothing to do, so I'll be here for the Thursday night, Thanksgiving night, for the usual clubhouse, and we'll do something Thanksgiving-y somehow. You know,
I don't know if I'll be around, but if I am, I'll drop in, or I might drop in later.
I know you have actual family stuff to do, but then all my family stuff's going to be over.
Well, we all might be asleep from the turkey coma. So.
I hope so. Well, I hope to have a turkey. I will do the show with a turkey coma. I can do a show.
You can do
I'm always in a coma anyway. Coma. I'm usually in an M&M's coma or something. So, let's see here. Okay, so again, big shout out. Thank you as always. First of all, a great shout out to our crew, the great Mark D with the C. Everybody, thanks for being here. Appreciate you.
Thank you for letting me hop in. Yep, always
our
fun.
Wonderful Chief Communications, that is Communications Officer, Anti-Derivative Jill, our fantastic, the great Lord Thoth, our our Security Officer, and of course that great Wrenches, Eric K. the Bronze Wrencher. Appreciate you, buddy. Chris Persia, the Vindicator Wrench of the North, who I believe had to run already, but we appreciate you. The Wrench of Iron, the great D. Bud Martin. Tuska was robbed, as Hunger Boy likes to say. Thank you, all of you, for what you do. And now a big shout out to everyone who was here with us tonight, because you're all important to us. We really appreciate you. Let's see here. Let's see, where are we at? Pleasant Valley Picker, thank you for being here with us tonight. Shooter, thank you so much for being here. J-Man, buddy, looking forward to Monday night, buddy. Can't wait. Michelle says something about won't be around much after Thanksgiving. Is gonna well, we would miss you too, Michelle. I hope that's not the case. But try to stop in when you can. But says after Thanksgiving won't be around much. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. We love it when you pop in. Don't be a stranger. Always pop in when you can.
I think she'll be busy with the new kid, but
well, is that when the young ones? I thought the young ones are a little ways away yet.
I'm not sure. I'm trying to read the chat correctly, but yeah,
I thought we had a little while for the next one.
I'm not sure
for the next youngster, but either way, well, we'll always be here for you, Michelle. Don't try not to be a stranger if you can help it. Lemon Pie, thank you so much for being here. The Phantom Outsider, Fanty. Mr. Angel, always appreciate you, Chef. Kal-El, Stephen M, thank you so much, buddy. Appreciate you. Happy birthday. Classic Comics, thanks for being here tonight. Oh, doing January. Now in January. I got you. So, yeah,
okay,
but, well, don't be a stranger. All
whenever
you
can be here, I always enjoy it.
Yeah, certainly. We would definitely miss you. Enigmatic Drop Bear. Again, so sorry for what you're going through there, my friend. Hang in there. You have the love and respect and friendship of Clobbering Times and all of us here, buddy. Let's see. And you know, just hang in there, buddy. The Catman, aka Dee Dee Myers. Thank you so much. I hope you and your lovely wife are doing well. Michael Beacom and Cassandra, shout out to you. Thanks, Michael. And shout out to the wonderful Cassandra. Let's see here. Mr. Tickle Trunk, thanks for being here. JT Kirk, buddy. Always great to have you here, my friend. Thank you for being here. Tyrell 72. Hope you had a great time out there, man. Hope you had a great time at work out there tonight. Good to see you, man. I think he had to run, but shout out to Steve Mitchum, Maddie's daddy. Also shout out to Minimus, who knows what, if you're still awake, go to sleep.
There's probably a Target buying more toys. Nice Batmobile the other day. Wow.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Max Redstone, who's had to go, I think, but is not feeling well. Get better. Feel better soon, Max Redstone, buddy.
Yep. Get well soon.
Captain Infinity and beyond. Good to see you, buddy. Double C, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Wolfie, always a pleasure, my friend. Brett Cohen, thank you so much for being here tonight. Appreciate you. Bush McFadden, thanks for being here, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Have a great one. Kai MFS Pat stopped in earlier. Good to see you, Kai. Keely Chow, roll that tide, Keely. Grimdark passed in earlier. Grimdark, thank you for popping in. Near that and Amanda Bear, my friend. Good to see you. Midnight's Oblivion. Thank you so much for being here. Our great friend Eric O'Sullivan popped in. Hey, Eric, good to see you, buddy. Boost, are you sick as well? I'm sorry, man. Sorry about that, buddy. I hope you feel better. Feel good, pal.
Yep. It's going around, but get better. Yep.
Hail to our new friend, Bubba. Did I say it right? Bubba Doom? Bubba Doom 1?
I'm not sure. I'm always so bad with the pronunciation. I hate to get names wrong, too.
Yeah, I get names wrong there, but I hope I said it right there. But if I did, I apologize. But, yes, Bubba Doom 1. Thank you so much. Oh, call for about 10 days.
I thought you said Dr. Doom.
I
thought you said Dr. Doom for a second. I was like, what? Yeah. Dr. Doom is here?
Yes. Yep. Thank you, Bubba Doom, for it's good to meet you. Welcome to the welcome to the crew. Welcome to the Clobbering Times gang. And I hope we will see you again. Rod Thunderheart, brother. Good to see you. Dad Man and the Dad Man clan. Hello there. Good to see you there, buddy. And the Polymies Minion and the Pupper and Michelle O'Rourke Johansson, my dear. I hope whatever you got going on there, I hope we will see you again. I hope we will miss you, but definitely pop in to say hello to us when you can. And I hope everything is going well for you. And I hope everything is going well for you, all you wonderful friends who lurked tonight. Thank you so much for lurking. And I want to thank everyone who listened on a download or a rewatch, as they call it. I hope you'll pop in throughout the course of the week. But if you're just someone who just likes to listen to Trek stuff and not really into the comic stuff, but if you're a Doctor Who fan, join us Wednesday night for sure. But either way, whether you join us other times or just tonight. And again, LT, hey buddy, Avon lives, long live the Legion, pal. But if you're someone who just listens tonight, thank you so much. And thank you for watching on the download or like lurking, however you do it. We appreciate you. And now we will play you out with some messages and credits and all that stuff. Good night, everybody. And have a fantastic remainder of your evening and weekend. And in case I don't see you, happy Thanksgiving. Clobber on, clobberers.
It's clobbering time.
Atomic batteries to power. Turbines to speed.
Roger, ready to move out.
If you receive Alamarine, you'll come with me.
I just love clobbering time.